in the picture because I don't get a chance to show that particular finger to people too often without somebody getting, you know, possibly upset or something along those lines. So I'm like, if I got the chance to share it, I've got to take the time to share it. But thankfully, it wasn't cut off. I didn't need any stitches. So all in all, as far as the injuries go with a saw blade, it was probably the best option. It doesn't seem to hurt as much as it probably should. I think it should at this point. So I think all in all, it should be pretty good. It should recover and be decent. So I can't complain about that at all. Anyway, I'll pass it back to you, sir. KEKKM.
All right there, Nick, at night. Well, I'm glad it wasn't worse than it was. It still looks pretty painful. But anyway, I hope you heal fast. Anyway, let's see. I have several people on the list, and if there's anybody out there that would like to get in the early bird list here, please call now.
Kilo Charlie 5, Romeo Bravo Golf, KC5, RPG, Shannon and Dawson.
Kilo Zulu 8, Tango Golf. I'm mobile. I'll stick around a little bit.
All right, let me pick it up there. Shannon, I got you. KC5, RBG, Real Big Guns. And the KZ8 station, could you repeat your call sign, please?
Tango Golf. I'm mobile about 40 minutes to get home and back to Columbus, so I'll be around that long.
All right, KE8BZA returning. I'm pretty sure I pulled out of there Kilo Zulu 8 Tango Golf. You kind of broke up a little bit there. Could you come back and confirm that I have that correct? All right, thanks, Tim. I got you there. And let's see, somebody else. I don't know. Let's see. Well, I'm looking at the blue screen here. KF8ADQ, Joe, do you want on the list?
KF8ADQ, yes, thank you.
Very good, Joe. Got you on there. Slot number 17. Oh, I see Jarris popped in there. We'll add Jarris, AI5Q. You know who we're missing? KE8BZA returning here is Andy, AB8MO. You out there, Andy? Nothing heard there. However, I bet you we'll hear from him yet. So we have a little less than 3 minutes before our lovely announcer kicks off the pre-show for us. So if you'd like to get on the list before the pre-show starts and get a really good seat up front, please call now.
KD2HCE will be in and out with lightning and thunder. AB8MO was on 40 meters earlier, so he should be here. KD2HCE, back to that.
All right, very good, Chris. Thank you. Thank you for the info, and I got you on the list as in and out. Good to hear from you, 73. We'll clear with KD2HCE. This is KE8BZA. We're down to, I'm estimating, about a minute and a half. So anybody else would like to get on the early list, please call now.
Alpha 8 Charlie, Sierra AA8CS. This is Gary in Fairlawn. I'm on the early list. The early list. That never happens to me.
All right, Gary, got you in there. Slot number 20. It's good to hear you tonight. And it's not an ungodly hour, although with a small g, of course. Although maybe it is an ungodly hour, depending on your perspective. But it's not the usual ungodly hour. But it's good to hear from you. Got you on the list. Anybody else? We've got a couple seconds here, real quick.
Kilo 5, Romeo 5 Truck Golf. Ryan and Wadsworth, K5 RS.
Kilo Quebec 4, India Zulu Victor, James, Salisbury, North Carolina.
The Beacon Net, a gathering of hams from around the world, will start on the system in 30 minutes. Come join us.
QST. Welcome to the Beacon Net pre-show. My call sign is KE8 VZA, Kilo Echo 8, Victor Zulu Alpha. My personal is Eric, Echo Romeo India Charlie. And this is the Beacon Net pre-show. The Beacon Net starts at 10. We're holding the pre-show here to chat a little bit and get some check-ins on the list. We already have a good list going here so far. We took some early check-ins. So the first couple rows of seats are already full. So probably row 3 and up, you're good. So anyway, let me take a break. I'll come right back. Okay, we're going to do our Mickey Mouse roll call in a minute here, but I would like to confirm one station's call sign. Right before the announcer came on, I heard 2 stations, K5 RFG, Ryan, I got you on the list, and KQ4 IZV, Kilo Quebec 4 India Zulu Victor, I think was the call. Could you please confirm that?
Kilo Quebec 4, India Zulu Victor, that is correct, and I will be hanging around tonight.
Very good, James. I appreciate the confirmation there. So that rounds the list thus far. But fear not, we will take check-ins, more check-ins here in a little bit. But first, we're going to go through our Mickey Mouse roll call. Make sure everybody on our net control team is transmitting okay, receiving okay. And we're going to go up to the top and check in with our net control station tonight, our master of ceremonies, Nick at Night, KE8QKO. How are you doing, Nick?
All right, good evening, Eric. Long time no talk. Doing well, sir. Standing by for the start of that. With that, I'll pass it back to you, KE8QKO.
Very good, Nick. You're sounding good yourself. We'll clear with KE8QKO, and we're going to go on down to Mike, our trivia master tonight, KE8QWE. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. Well, hello there, Eric. You sound great. I'm sure I sound like me. I have a trivia question. I'm ready to go. So it's Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. Back to KE8 and VZA.
All right, Mike. Look forward to the trivia question for tonight. You're sounding good yourself, and yeah, you do sound like yourself. That's good. Okay, we'll clear with KE8QWE, and we're going to throw a call out for the Squatch of Medina, KD8EPC. Dustin, are you out there tonight, and how you doing?
W8WKY.
All right, a word from our sponsor, KE8VZA on the Beacon Net pre-show. This is KD8EPC. We're here. We have no responsibilities, and we should be here for the whole show. It's raining pretty hard here, and there is some lightning, so there you go. KD8 EPC, back to pre-net control.
Very good there, Dustin. You're sounding good. Got you on the list, of course. And I hope that lightning's not headed my way. You got a box fan. Could you turn it to the east and blow it that direction? Anyway, we'll clear with KD8 EPC, and we're going to go down to Just Nick, KD8 SLG. How you doing tonight, Nick?
KE8 VZA, this is KD8 SLG. Good evening, Eric, and all of the Beacon netizens. It's awesome to be here. I think I sound okay, and I'm going to be here for the duration. I got nothing else to do on a Sunday night, do I? Good to hear you, Eric. And President Gary's here. This is KD8 SLG, back to pre-net control.
Very good, Just Nick. Glad to have you aboard tonight. And you're sounding good. And let's see. We'll clear with KD8 SLG for now. And next on our list is our alt trivia master. He may still be on that other net, but we're going to throw a call out for him just in case. KI5DAY. Alan, are you out there yet?
KI5DAY here, and I don't think I'll be joining the net tonight, so I'm sorry, guys, but go ahead and count me out.
If I was a betting man, I would say that's an imposter. Anyway, we'll just leave him on there for now, and we'll circle back. So let me read you off who I have on the list. So far, I got W8HRF, KE8YUK, Josh and Lucy are in and out. Got Chuck, WB4AIZ, K5CFY Ray. We'll check in with Ray too in a minute. KE8YUG, Josh, KF8ANS, Marie, W3ETB, Eddie, KA8MNT, Tom, KC5RBG, Shannon, KZ8TG, Tim, KF8ADQ, Joe, AI5Q, Jarrett, KD2HCE, Chris, in and out, AA8CS, President Gary, K5RFG, Ryan, KQ4IZV, James down in North Carolina, WB8CXO, Mike, who's in and out, and I believe, yes, he is streaming this net on YouTube, so just Google BeaconNet, or search BeaconNet on YouTube, and you'll find it. And from the blue screen, I picked up AB8MO. So let's take a few more check-ins, and we'll work the list. So if you are looking to get on the list, please give me your call sign phonetically and your name and location.
Whiskey 8, India Victor Golf Mobile, Sean, Creston, Ohio currently. I'll be in and out. I'll be at my destination shortly.
Whiskey Alpha 8, Kilo Oscar Charlie, WA8KOC. Fred, in Akron, I have to be in and out this evening. You folks have a wonderful net. Good job as always, Eric. Back to net control, WA8KOC.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Foxtrot Tango, Fred in Medina.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Alpha November Tango, Stephen Illyria, KF8 ANZ.
Kilo Golf 4, Sierra Charlie Kilo, Mark in Kentucky.
Bobby, Oklahoma, Kilo Juliet 5, Charlie Lima Victor.
Hello, Eric. Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, Phil in Canal Fulton.
All right, we're going to go ahead and pick it up there. Okay, very nicely done. I did pick up W8IVG Sean, who's in and out tonight, and WA8KOC Fred, got you there, in and out. 73 to both of you gentlemen. Thanks for checking in. Let's see, next, Fred down in Medina. KE8QFT. Stephen, KF8ANT over in Elyria. Mark, KG4SCK down from Kentucky. KJ5, I think it was CLV, Charlie Lima Victor, down in Oklahoma. Got you there, Robert. And Philip, WV3K. With that, I'm going to pop back KJ5 CLV, Kilo Juliet 5, Charlie Lima Victor. Robert, did I get your call sign right?
Yes, sir, you did. Thank you very much for double checking.
All right, thanks, Robert, for confirming. We'll clear with KJ5 CLV, and we'll come back to you here shortly. We're going to go up to the top of the list and work the list. So first on the list here is WB4AIZ, Chuck down in Florida. How you, Chuck? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
Yes, WB4AIZ. Negative. I'm not going to stick around. You know, like you say, it's late at night. So everyone, take care. Have a good night. And it's nice and dry down here right now. We've got an extended period of dryness and cooler temperatures. A little bit. Humidity down too. Before that,
Very good, Chuck. Got you on the list. I'll mark you in and out. And thanks a lot for checking in. We always like to hear from you all the way down from Florida. And glad to hear you have a reprieve from the rain. A little bit of dryness. That's a good thing. So thanks again, Chuck, in 73. We'll clear with WB4AIZ. Next on the list is Ray, K5CFY. He's probably still on another net as well, but we'll go ahead and give a shout. K5CFY, are you out there yet, Ray? Okay, nothing heard. We'll circle back to Ray. He'll be here, I bet. So again, let me identify. This is KE8VZA. I am the pre-net control station for the BeaconNet pre-show. We are on the W8WKY repeater in Doylestown, Ohio. Frequency is 147, Mark 390. Positive offset, PL tone 114, Mark 8. So if you want to check your settings there, feel free to do so. But everyone I've talked to, I can hear, so that's a good thing. Okay, we'll go down to next on the list, Josh, KE8YUG. How you doing tonight, Josh, and are you sticking around for the big show?
W8WKY.
KE8VZA, this is KE8YUG. Good evening, Eric. Good hearing you. Yep, going to be sticking around. Looking forward to it. I'll send it back to pre-net control, KE8YUG.
All right, Josh. Glad you're aboard. We'll clear with KE8YUG. And we'll go down to somebody I think Josh knows. KF8ANS3. How you doing tonight? And are you sticking around for the big show, too? All right, Marie, good to hear. Got you on the... Thank you. And this is KE8VZA. We'll clear with KF8ANS for now. And we'll go on down to Eddie, W3ETB. How you doing tonight, Eddie? And I think you had a cold last net. Have you been able to shake that thing yet?
Hi, Eric. Well, it's still hanging in there. Each day it feels like it's getting less and less. But yeah, there's still the anyway. You can probably tell, and I will be sticking around. So I'll turn it back to you there, so you can get on with the list. W3TV back to net.
Very good, Eddie. It's good to hear you tonight. And yeah, you still sound like you've got the cold, but I would say you sound a tiny bit better from this end, so that's a good thing. We'll clear with W3ETV for now, and we'll go on down to Tom, KA8MNT. How you doing tonight, Tom? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
KE8VZA. This is KA8MNT. Good evening, Eric, and everybody is on the net so far. Yeah, I think I'll hang around and pester everybody this evening. So with that, I'll turn everything back to the capable, super duper capable hands of KE8VZA.
All right, thank you, Tom. Maybe if anybody starts to doze off, you could pester them a little extra. That would be good. Okay, well, thanks, Tom. We got you on the list. We'll clear with KA8MNT, and we're going to go down to Shannon from Oklahoma. KC5RBG, Real Big Guns. How you doing tonight, Shannon? And are you sticking around for the big show?
Howdy, KC5RBG, and yes, I'll be hanging around, just sitting here eating some 5-layer dip with the 4 dogs staring at me like I'm a rack of lamb here. But yeah, I'll be hanging around. KC5RBG.
All right, Shannon. You know, I just ate, and you're making me hungry all over again. But dogs, they always look at you like, you know, they've never been fed. You never give them anything. You hear Sarah McLachlan music queuing up in the background, like from that TV commercial. But, yeah, it's kind of hilarious. You have a little hum going on. I think it's on your end. I don't know if you have something in your shack there that might be creating that. But just FYI, I can still copy you, however. So for now, we'll clear with KC5RBG. We're going to go on down to Tim, KZ8TG. How you doing tonight, Tim? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
Good evening, Eric, and good evening, everybody on the pre-net. Great job there. I think might be the first time I've talked to you. But no, I'm not. I'm mobile, actually. I don't know if you know where Hayesville is. That's why he was having trouble picking me up. I'm in Wayne County now. I don't know if I'll get destinated before the net starts, but shortly after. So, yep, I'm down here be in Doylestown here in a few minutes, and it's starting to light rain, but great big raindrops and a gorgeous lightning show. So, nope, 73 everybody, have a good one, and you can check me out after this. Back to net, KZ8TG Mobile.
All right, Tim, very good. Got you on the list, in and out. It's good to hear from you tonight. Thanks for checking in. And if you're at the meeting next week, I'll say hi to you. Anyway, we'll clear with KZ8TG, and we're going to go on down to Joe, KF8ADQ. How you doing tonight, Joe? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
KF8ADQ. I am doing wonderful, and yes, I will be sticking around for the big show.
Very good, Joe. Got you on the list. And we'll clear with KF8 ADQ for now. We'll go on down to Jairus, AI5Q, another station down in Oklahoma. How you doing tonight, Jairus? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
AI5Q here, and yes, I'm going to stick around for the big show, as it were. So long as Alan doesn't come on the radio. If Alan comes on, I may just disappear and you won't hear from me, or I may not answer the alternate trivia because whatever Alan says is garbage. I don't want to hear it, so there you go. I will contest that you are trying to tell me that I should be on 147.39. I'm on 432.725 with a PL tone of 179.9, and I seem to be making it in just fine. So, just saying, your advertisement of what frequency to get in on is not all inclusive of everybody. AI5Q, back to net control.
All right, Jairus. Yeah, I guess the political all-inclusive police will be pursuing me, or maybe show up at my doorstep tomorrow. But yeah, I guess that repeater's got some good reach on it. Hi. Got you on the list here, Jairus, and we'll clear with AI5Q for now. We did pick up KD2HCE Chris, who was in and out. And next, cue the band, hail the chief. This is AA8CS. How you doing tonight, Gary? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
Good evening, Eric. And yeah, I'll stick around for the big show. Yeah, for sure. Good to hear you tonight. Doing a fine business job on the net there, and quite well done. I will say that. Let me see. Today, I finally got my front yard mowed, or I should say harvested. It took me a long time. I mowed it once on the highest setting and chopped it down to some palatable amount, and then went back again for a second clipping and picked up the grass at that point. There was just way too much grass to leave laying on the lawn. So it actually looks pretty doggone good, but I have an electric mower. I cycled through my batteries. I have a 4-battery pack with this mower. But anyway, I cycled through the batteries twice before I was done. So that was quite a bit. Normally, when things are all good, I can mow with one set of batteries, period. I'm done. This time I took both sets of batteries and 2 complete charges. Oh, that was way more information than I'm sure you wanted. But at any rate, don't let me down with your circling back. I feel proud that you're picking up on that. KE8VZA, Eric, take care. Back to you. This is AA8CS.
All right, Gary. I, too, was able to get the grass cut, both front and back. And it was a little swampy in the back, where at the bottom of the slope there. But I kind of cut around some of it. We'll have to revisit it. But, yeah, I got it before I need to bail. So the mower was able to cut it one pass, so we're good. I do have an electric mower I use for the perimeter, and I have a riding mower that I use for the rest of it. So I'm fortunate, and it works really well, and it can eat through some tall grass if need be. Very good, Gary. We'll clear with you for now. Oh, yeah, circling back, I learned from watching many press briefings when a certain redhead was at the helm of that apparatus. Anyway, we'll clear with AACS for now, and we'll go down to Ryan, KF5RFG. How you doing tonight, Ryan, and are you sticking around for the big show?
K5RFG. I will be sticking around for the big show. But in the meantime, we're going to have the other K5RFG say hello to everyone before it's time for him to go to bed. So with that, here is K5RFG.
K5RFG, hello everybody. How's your day going today? And I hope it has been wonderful.
That's brought back to net control. This is Kilo 5, Romeo 5 Delta C, K5RFG.
All right there, Ryan. Very good. I did hear both of you there, and 73s to the other KF5RFG or K5RFG, and may you have sweet dreams tonight and on your way to bed. And Ryan, we got you on the list, and you were bringing in a little bit of static there, but you were totally copyable. I don't know if you're on an HT. Maybe you need to find that spot, that good spot. Anyway, clear with K5RFG for now. We'll go down to James, KQ4IZV, India Zulu Victor. How you doing tonight, James? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
This is KQ4IZV. Doing pretty well tonight. Actually had a real nice day. It was about 83 degrees, plenty of sunshine, perfect breeze. Kind of got out and got the grass mowed and did yard chores and got everything cleaned up and getting ready for the summer. So hopefully things will turn out good and the flowers will come out the way I want them to. I mean, that's not difficult stuff, but you know how that works. And I'm going to be hanging around for sure. But I'll get back with you guys a little bit later on. This is KQ4IZV. Out.
All right, James, got you on the list here. And, yeah, I know when I was out mowing the yard today, I was taking note of several things that I need to revisit as the weeks continue here into the warmer weather direction. So, yeah, that list is already building. But thanks for checking in. Got you on the list. We'll clear with KQ4IZV for now. And next on the list was Mike WB8CXO. Mike is in and out, and he is streaming this net on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, just search for the Beacon Net, and you'll find it. Next on the list is AB8MO. Andy, how you doing tonight, Andy? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
KE8VZA, this is AB8MO. I think I need to turn this thing up. Hold on. Okay. I turned on, I forgot to shut off parrot mode. That's why it took so long. Anyway, there we go. There we go. That should be good. Let's try that. That should be all right. Not there'll be no if that's too hot or not. I'm still trying to get this 991A adjusted back to where it was. Got it back from the factory. So now it's just a matter of setting everything. So without any further ado, I'll throw it back to net. AB8MO.
All right, very good, Andy. Yeah, Chris gave us a heads up that you would be along shortly, since we didn't hear you right away. But I'm glad you got your radio back. Hope everything's working well with it. It sounds good. So very good. We'll clear with AB8MO for now. And next on the list was W8IVG, Sean, he was in and out. WA8KOC, Fred, in and out. 73, gentlemen. And next on the list, KE8QFT, Fred. How you doing tonight, Fred? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
Oh, well, yeah, Eric, I'll stick around. If you can hear me now, I'll stick around. You know, I understand later on our show we'll have Herman's Hermits. That's my Ed Sullivan imitation. Back to net control.
All right, Ed Sullivan, there you go. Very good, Fred. Got you on the list. You're sounding very good tonight. We'll clear with KE8QFT for now and go down to Stephen, KF8ANT over in Elyria. And are you going to stick around for the big show?
AF5JB, Thanatos, this your time?
All right, I got you on the list there, Mike, or Matt, I'm sorry, AF5JB. We'll come back to you in just a sec. One more shout out for KF8ANT. Stephen, are you still out there, and are you going to stick around for the big show?
E8BZA, KF8ANT. Good evening, Eric. Yeah, I'll be sticking around. Kick it back to pre-net control.
Very good, Stephen. I just looked at the time. We're a minute past the hour. I'm going to go quickly through this list. So got you, Stephen. We'll clear with KF8ANT. Mark, KG4SDK. How you doing tonight? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
Hey, good evening, Eric and everybody. Yes, sir. I've missed too many of these late-night trivia questions after imposing a curfew on myself. So, yes, sir, I'll be enjoying it tonight. Thank you. KG4SDK, back to net.
All right, very good, Mark. Got you on the list. And thanks for the package, by the way. Ron and Just Nick delivered it on Saturday into my hands. Appreciate it. We'll clear with KG4SCK for now. We'll go down to KJ5CLV. Robert, are you going to stick around for the big show?
I'm going to try my best to. I'm going to be in and out, so I'll have my radio on, but I'll see what I can do. Just a quick note: where are you located? I like to write down where the net is coming from, and I didn't catch that. But could you tell me where you're from, please?
Yes, Robert. This is the Beacon Net, and we are on the W8 WKY repeater out of Doylestown, Ohio. I got you on the list here and marked you in and out. Appreciate your check-in. And we'll clear with KJ5CLV. We'll go down to Phil, WV3K. How you doing tonight, Phil? And are you going to stick around for the big show?
W8WKY.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Zulu Alpha. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo. Hello, Eric. Yes, I'm going to stick around with you and looking forward to participating tonight. Had some good help from Nick to get my headset together, and I'm happy to be a part of this. So thank you, and I will be on the side here waiting to respond. So K8BZA, WV3K, back to net control.
Okay. Thank you, Phil. Got you on the list. And I'm going to just read off, since we're a little past the top of the hour. I did get KC3QND, Jeannie, from the blue screen. KC TV, Mark, also from the blue screen. KE8ZZR, Harry from the blue screen. And not to forget about you there, Matt, AF5JB. Got you on the list. You were short time. And did you want to share some comments with the net at this time?
Yeah, I do. Was it a hand pass at the Claremore on Friday? I didn't get anything I found, but I got it online, so I got it after all. But other than that, I had a good weekend to play Pac-Man and some other racing games. Cruise and Blast, that's the name of the other game I played, and then played Hard Rock and ate a hamburger there. Got with a friend because it was his birthday, so had a good time, and then went home and had me beer and went to bed, and just kind of took an easy day and get ready for a whole new week there. So it's currently the muggy 81 degrees, and they're going for some pretty big storms down here tomorrow, so it should be pretty interesting. But other than that, that's all I got for now. You guys are good out there, and good area one. Steady three, and have a good stay week. This is AFIJB and Matt in the mobile, and I had me beer last night as well at my house and went to bed, so it's just fun time. Anyway, that's all I got for now. City 3, about to take control. Thanks again. Until next time.
All right, Matt, thanks for checking in. It's always good to hear you, and glad you always make some time for a little Pac-Man action there. I love Pac-Man. But good to hear from you. We'll mark you as checked out, and thanks for checking in with us. Okay, at this time, I'm going to go ahead and turn over the floor to our net control master of ceremonies tonight, Nick at Night, KE8QKO. The floor is yours, Nick.
Thank you, Eric. Fine business on the pre-show. All right, good evening and welcome to the Beacon Net. My name is Nick. My call sign is KE8QKO, Kilo Echo 8, Quebec, Kilo Oscar. I will be net control for the evening. The Beacon Net meets every Sunday and Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time here on the WWKY repeater 147 Mark 390, positive offset with a PL tone of 114 Mark 8, Allstar Node 48496, and Echolink W8WKY-R. This is a directed net, so all traffic must pass through net control. We are linked in with our friends in Oklahoma to do drop-in and various other repeaters, so we ask that you key for a couple of seconds before and after you transmit so we hear everything you've got to say. Before we start taking check-ins, if there any emergency or priority traffic, please call now. Okay, nothing heard there. Station. All right, so before I start taking check-ins, I'm going to say one comment. AF5JB Matt, if you're still out there listening, once we get our trivia questions read for us, I'm going to call back out for you since we're short time and we're pretty close to when you just commented. If you're out there, great. If you're not, that's fine too. But I want to give you a chance to answer the trivia. So we're going to take some check-ins, we're going to get our trivia questions, and then you're going to be my first call if the opportunity presents itself. And you can answer. So, any stations that have not already checked into the pre-show that would like to check into the Beacon Net, please say your call sign phonetically, followed by alphabetically, along with your name and location.
Kilo Echo 8, Zulu India November, K8, ZIN, Joe in Willowick, Ohio.
Just to make it official, KSFQ, but I do see you guys got me in.
All right. Sounds like Eric did a pretty darn good job on the pre-show there. Thank you, Eric. We got one. We had one check in there, K8ZIN Joe, and we had KC8 FQV who was already in the list. So we'll talk to him later when he's already on the list. And yeah, so let's go up and talk to our trivia masters. We're going to start with K8 QWE, Mike. How you doing, Mike? And what do you have for the Beaconette tonight?
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. Well, hello there, everybody. Okay, this is an eclipse question. What was the red spot at the bottom of the solar eclipse? A, solar flare. B, solar jet. C, solar prominence. D, solar magnetic field. Again, what was the red spot at the bottom of the solar eclipse? A, solar flare. B, solar jet. C, solar prominence. D, solar magnetic field. I'll go ahead and post this in the blue screen. Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo, back to K8 QKO.
All right, thank you, Mike. Fine question. Okay, I see him on the blue screen, so I'm going to call out for him. KI5, DAY, Allen. Do you have our alternate question ready, sir?
KI5DAY in the net. Good evening, Mr. Nick, and as always, how is my signal?
You're sounding just fine, sir.
You copy me.
KI5, DAY, KEAQKO. I am copying you, and you are sounding just fine.
KI5DAY, switched radios. Can you hear me?
KI5, DAY, KEAQKO. Yes, I can hear you. You have a little bit more of an echo on this radio than the last one, but I can hear you, and you're completely legible.
Oh, that was one echoing because I was talking on another. I didn't think you heard me the first time. You didn't come back to me, or at least I didn't hear you come back to me. But as long as you can hear me on this one, we'll go with it. So there should not be an echo now. Is this okay?
Yes, sir, it's just fine. I did come back to you, but you probably didn't hear me, so that was, I think, the confusion. I think we're good to go now. Go ahead with your trivia.
Alrighty, sorry about the confusion there, and good evening, everybody. This is KI5DAY, Allen in Sperry, Oklahoma, with tonight's alternate trivia. Remember, no Googling the answers. You don't have to go on with your definitions and what you heard from your brother, your mothers, or your fathers. Just answer the question and move on. Hi. This is tonight's alternate trivia question. Which common spice can be poisonous in large quantities? Is it A, nutmeg, B, paprika, C, dillweed, or D, Cornwaldo weed? Let me let this drop. I will repeat.
W8WKY.
Which common spice can be poisonous in large quantities? Is it A, nutmeg, B, paprika, C, dillweed, or D, Cornwaldo weed? KI5DAY, back to net.
All right, another fine alternate trivia answer there, question there, Alan. I think I know the answer. I have it written down. I'm gonna give my answers out towards the end of the net. Just it's my prerogative. But yeah, I have my answers for both at this point. So that sounds pretty good to me. All right, thank you, Alan. And let's go down and call for AF5JB Matt. Let's see if he's out there and he wants to answer the questions. If not, that's totally fine. But I want to call for him first. Matt, if you would like to answer the questions, please come back. Okay, nothing heard there. Perhaps he went out of range and not available. I want to give him a chance. So let's go see what we've got going on here. Before I go any further, I'm going to identify. This is KEAQKO and the WWKY repeater going through our list of check-ins for the BeaconNet. We have 3 in and out check-ins. We have W8HRF, K8YUK, KB4AIZ. That takes us down to K5CFY Ray. How you doing, sir? And what do you have for the BeaconNet this evening?
QKO and the net. This is K5CFY. Good evening, Nick. Thanks for doing the net, and everybody that's keeping the BeaconNet going, lighting up the airways. We definitely appreciate it. Gosh, I'm going to go with Charlie and Alpha. So that's my guesses for tonight. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I'll say 73. Back to you there, Nick. Have a good net.
All right, thank you, Ray. Got you down for Charlie and Alpha. Thanks for checking in with us. Always happy to hear from you. Next, we're going to talk to K8YUG Josh. How you doing, Josh? So what do you have for the BeaconNet this evening?
KE8QKO, this is KE8YUG. Good evening, Nick. Good to hear you. Good hearing everybody else. We'll start with the trivia. So for the main one, I'll go C Charlie, and the alternate I'll go A Alpha. So C Charlie, A Alpha for the trivia. Yeah, it was a good day, good weekend, nice weather. Got some stuff done. Kind of tired today. And we'll see. Hopefully I get some good rest before the next week coming up here. But it was a good weekend, though. I guess the warm weather tired me out or something. But got to check out Harbor Freight. That was a nice time, and a bunch of stuff got done this weekend, which is always good. But I think the main thing was the weather here in Ohio, which is very nice. Drying out finally. It's been real wet, drying out, a little breezy, but that helps too. And so hopefully everybody has a good end of the weekend here, a good start to the week, and look forward to catching up as the week goes on. So we'll talk to everybody later. 73. KE8YUG, back to net.
All right, thank you, Josh. Got you down there for Charlie and Alpha. Next, we're going to talk to you, your better half, KS8ANS. Marie, how you doing, ma'am? And what do you have for the BeaconNet this evening?
Hi, Nick. Hello, everybody out there listening and participating. First, the trivia, I'm going to go C Charlie for the main and A Alpha for the alpha alternate. So C Charlie, A Alpha. So today it was kind of hot, I guess, outside. It was kind of nice. It was nice to get some rays of the sun, and we'll have to pack away our flannel sheets. I think it's time now. But it was good to finally get some sun rays and not be like raining and stuff outside, so that was good. And we went to Harbor Freight this weekend for the first time. Very interesting store. They had a lot of sales. I'm excited for the new sales ad to drop and see what kind of items I can score. We did get a thermometer, like digital thing, so you can put it and click and see how hot things are. So we've been having kind of fun, like testing it out. And we did get pizza today, and we checked the temperature, and I will report it was 143 degrees, so hot. But it's been nice to kind of stay inside this weekend and just play video games. We got out and got some sunshine, but just been staying inside and playing the game. So for 73 all, this is KF8ANS. Back to net.
right, thank you, Marie. Yeah, it was a beautiful day today. You know what? I'll say it was a beautiful day to go out, pull out your saw, and cut some wood, because that was a perfect opportunity and a perfect activity for me today, or not. Harbor Freight, you know, I love me some Harbor Freight. Just be careful, because every time I go to Harbor Freight, I go in there for one, maybe two things, and I end up buying way more than I ever intended. And those little laser thermometers that you have, that thing's amazing. I've got one too, and I love it. I use it. I used to use a regular thermometer to measure fry oil when I'm frying things on my stove. Now I just use that thing, and it works great. Way better than I actually expected it to. So enjoy it, enjoy the tools, and just be careful with all the sales, because they'll get you on the sales. So, but I love Harbor Freight. I love going there whenever I can. So it's one of my candy stores, if you will. But thank you, Anne-Marie. And next we're down, before I go down to the next station, I'm going to identify. This is K8QKO, the WWKI repeater. Going through a list of check-ins for the VeeConnect. I like to be on the 10-minute mark of the hour, if I can. So this makes it easier for me to keep track of for my identification. Our next station is W3 ETB Eddie. How you doing, Eddie? And what do you have for the VeeConnect this evening?
Yeah, hi there, Nick. Well, I did absolutely nothing today. Well, you can't really call it nothing. Actually, I think I talked to Dave from Wales. I talked to, who else did I talk to? I talked to Ozzy from Oklahoma there. I talked to Mark, who runs the Gentech Net from Raleigh, North Carolina. I talked to Eric. Now I'm talking to you. Oh, well, I wanted to talk to Ray, but unfortunately, somehow or other, C4FM didn't work out my Blue DB, so I didn't get a chance to talk to Ray. But hi, Ray, how you doing? Anyway, he's probably still there. As far as the trivia questions, I'll go ahead and answer those so you can get on down the list. Let's see, A will be my first choice for the main. And A will be my first choice for the alternate trivia as well. Alternate trivia, wow, I don't know. They all sound pretty deadly to me. So I like dill with scrambled eggs. So I think if I put too much dill in my scrambled eggs, I might get a little high, But I don't think it's going to kill me. Of course, it could. I really don't know. I'll just have to find out. W3TD, back to net.
All right, thank you, Eddie. Got you down there for Alpha and Alpha. And I will say, from what I know of the spices that are out there, one of them is a blend. And I'd imagine being a blend, it's not going to be poisonous. I'm not going to say what spice is a blend, but one of them is. Appreciate you getting with us there, Eddie. And next, we're going to talk to KA8MNT. Tom, how you doing, sir? And what do you have for the VeeConnect this evening?
W8WKY.
KE8QKO, this is KA8MNT. Well, good evening, Nick, and everybody that's made it so far on the net. Let's see. We'll go with the trivia first. On the first question about the eclipse spot, I was torn between two, and I did the old eeny meeny. So I'm going to go with solar prominence. Is that what that was? Yeah, C, solar prominence. And B, what common spice? Well, anything in excess can be dangerous. So I'm just going to throw it up in the air and say A. So we can go from there. And I don't know if I'll be on for the rest of the net or not, because we are having quite a light show down here. It's supposed to be over and done with in about 5 minutes, so we'll see what happens. Anyhow, with that, I'll turn everything back over to the super duper hands of KE8QK
All right, thank you there. Tom, got you down for Charlie and Alpha. And if you don't mind me asking, how was your XYL doing? I haven't heard in a while.
Oh, she's not doing too bad. She has an appointment on Thursday, and she's supposed to get the results of some heart monitor tests and stuff that was done here about a week or so ago. So we'll see what the doc says then, and hopefully she'll be okie dokie. Also, I have a grandnephew that was seriously ill in Honolulu on a vacation about 3 weeks ago. Well, he is on an air ambulance right now on his way back to Cleveland Clinic. So at least they got him out of Hawaii, and they're bringing him home. So we got our fingers crossed, and things are starting to look good. His health took an upturn while he was out over there waiting to be for transport. So things are looking good there too. So with that, this is Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, turning everything back over to KE8QKO.
All right, Tom, thank you. It's good to hear about about your XYL, and glad your nephew's doing better and is on his way back home. So you can, I think being closer to home will definitely help him improve. That's my 2 cents anyway. But we got your answers in there. Thank you, sir. And next we get on to talk to KC5, Real Big Gun Shannon. How you doing, sir? Go ahead with your comments for the Beacon Net.
Howdy, KC5RBG. Well, I don't really have too much. I didn't really do anything today, so other than eat a bunch of the 5-layer dip and survive the dogs staring at me there. My answer to the question will be state of Oklahoma, of course. Hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend, and it was a good ham fest we had here. I didn't get to go Saturday, unfortunately, but I did go Friday night, and I enjoyed myself. Saw a lot of people, and it was wonderful to see those people. With that, I guess I'll go ahead and let you get on down the list. Like I said, it's been a pretty slow weekend for me. This is Caleb, KC5RBG, saying God bless in 73. Back to net control.
All right, thank you, Shannon. Got your answer down to the great state of Oklahoma. I will say, a slow weekend, I would have taken that any day of the week after this weekend. But I'll get into that when my turn comes up here, the top of the top or bottom of the list, or however you look at it. But thank you, sir. It's good to hear you out there. And our next station here was KZ8TG, who was in and out. And we are now down to KF8ADQ. Let's see, do I have a preferred name for you? Sorry, I have the Joe. How you doing, sir? What do you have for the Beacon Net?
This is KF8ADQ. Got a good week, good weekend. Went to my first ham fest down in Cuyahoga Falls. Saw a bunch of cool stuff. And my big thing for this week is I dipped my toes into doing some FT8, and I'm up to 52 countries and over 200 contacts in just shy of a week doing FT8. So having fun in that protocol. Seeing how many countries I can get and how fast I can get it. So other than that, FT8, or not FT8, whatever my call sign is. KF8ADQ, back to net.
All right, thank you, Joe. Good luck on the FT8. Hey, did we get your trivia answers I'm not sure if I heard those.
Let's go with D and A.
All right, thank you, sir. Got you down for Delta and Alpha. Next, we go down and talk to AI5Q, Jairus. Hey, Jairus, before we take your comments, could you give us your answer to the alternate trivia question, and could you also tell us how awesome Alan's alternate trivia questions have been for this net? I would really appreciate that.
Get bent. I would say something else, but I don't want the FCC coming down on me. But get bent on Alan's question. I mean, seriously, what is he doing? I don't know. Actual trivia question, which is the only one that matters, I will go with A, Alpha. And you can just pick whatever you want for the alternate trivia question. I mean, I put a guess in the blue screen. No, hold on, C. C for the main trivia. And I was going to go C with the alternate, but yeah, put whatever you like. It doesn't matter. There's no points involved, and there's no glory in knowing Alan's ridiculous mindset that he's got going on when he comes up with these questions, and there's no telling what that long-haired hippie guy is doing. So anyway, Alan, you're a blast to mess with on the air, in case you didn't know. And I'm not going to stop anytime soon, because where's the fun in that? Nobody likes a quitter. Rehab's for quitters, and I'm not a quitter. AI5Q.
All right, thank you, Jairus. Cut you down there for Charlie and Charlie. And yeah, I had to put you on the spot based on your comments earlier, so I heard that, and I said, all right, I'm going to put Jairus on the spot because I just kind of have to. Thanks for getting with us there, sir, and we always appreciate it. Some good fun on that, some good, little probing me if you can. All right, this is KUKK with a WWKY repeater, going through a list of check-ins on the BeaconNet. Our next station was in and out, that's KD2HCE, and we are now down to AA8CS, Gary, our esteemed leader, president extraordinaire of the Sarah Radio Club. Gary, take it away. Alpha 8, Charlie Sierra, Gary, Sarah President. If you're out there, we have a space for you to comment on the BeaconNet tonight. Come back.
W8WKY.
Good evening, Nick. Sorry about that. I just got back to the radio, so timing is everything, I guess. I had mother-in-law duty arise, and so I had to walk away. But I made it back. I'm excited about that. Good to hear you tonight, and you're doing your usual spectacular job. We appreciate that. Keeping the radio active. Keeping the radioactivity active. How's that sound? All right. Anyway, not much else going on. I wanted to tell Eric that VZA that I thought that I was his incentive and his his aspiration to master circling back. I didn't know it was Jen herself that inspired him, but anyway. That being said, couldn't mow the backyard because it is, I have 2 French strains back there, and I still get a lake. With that, back to Net.
All right, thank you, Gary. We didn't get your trivia answers. Want to come back with your trivia answers for me?
Yeah, Roger on that. I'm sorry. I'll go with C squared. That would be CNC. Back to net. AA8CS.
All right, thank you, sir. Catch that for Charlie and Charlie. And yeah, good that you cut the grass. I refuse to cut the grass in the first half of April. Honestly, I tend to refuse to cut the grass a lot of times throughout the year, both partially because of laziness or scheduling. But yeah, I'm not cutting the grass this early in the year. I heard my neighbors cut the grass a couple of times already, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. It's not even tax day yet. It's not time to cut the grass. And my backyard is also a swamp, so wait for that to dry out before I really try to cut the grass and do that stuff. But I'm thinking maybe, well, not this weekend, maybe next weekend I'll cut the grass. It'll be long. I'll deal with it, but that's money. That's my place. I'm sticking with it. Thank you, Gary, Charlie, and Charlie. And next we go down to talk to K5RFG Ryan. How you doing, sir? And how are you doing tonight?
Kilo 5, Romeo, Foxtrot Golf, K5RFG. Good evening, Nick. Good evening, everyone on the net. Doing great. I apologize if there's static in this thing. I am on an HT, so trying to find the spot in the house or in the apartment that's not staticky, but haven't had any luck with that yet. So I was able to get thanks to that wonderful internet store, starts with an A and all that fun stuff, I was able to get a cable and reprogram one of the HTs that I have. So hopefully this thing is working better than it was last week. Other than that, not a whole lot to report. Just been busy with work, and great to be back on the net, on the radio, and listening to the nets again. I've missed this tremendously. So great to be back, and I hope everybody's doing well. I did not either of the trivia questions, but my answer will be C for Covington, Louisiana. So there you have it. With that, I'll throw it back to you, Nick. This is Kilo 5, Romeo Foxtrot Golf.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Good to hear you're back on the air. Glad to hear that stuff sorting out. Again, if you need anything, actually, before I go further, do you still have my cell phone number? Can you come back with that?
That is affirmative, sir. I did find it. I will text you to make sure that it is the correct one.
All right, thank you, sir. I'll say if you have any questions or need anything, don't hesitate to text me and ask me. I'm happy to have a conversation. Even if you don't need anything, just want to text. I'm happy to hear you. I like you. Haven't heard from you in a while. I know I probably should have texted you, and it's not bad at that. I'm really, really bad at that. But yeah, good to hear you on the air. And, we're not in Covington, Louisiana. I'm sure it's a nice place. But we have questions, and we're going to go back up and reread those. Because it's possible somebody else down the line might need those reread for them. So, K8QWE Mike, how you doing, sir? Can you reread the primary question for us?
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. The primary question is, what was the red spot at the bottom of the solar eclipse? A, solar flare. B, solar jet. C, solar prominence. D, solar magnetic field. Again, what was the red spot at the bottom of the solar eclipse? A, solar flare. B, solar jet. C, solar prominence. Or D, solar magnetic field. This is Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo, back to KE, UKO.
Thank you, Mike. Let's get on and talk to KF5DAY and get the alternate question read again. Alan, take it away.
KI5DAY in the net. Yeah, we're back here with the alternate trivia question. River Chicken Break. Okay, and tonight's alternate trivia question is, which common spice can be poisonous in large quantities? A, nutmeg. B, paprika. C, dillweed. Or D, Cornwaldo weed. KI5DAY. Back to Ned.
All right, thank you, Alan. You know, if you laugh when you read one of the answers, it kind of ruins the whole question. But anyway, let's get back down and talk to K5RFG Ryan and see if he wants to stick with his answers of Charlie and Charlie, or if you want to change them. Ryan, take it away.
Well, after watching the solar eclipse and everybody asking, hey, what's that red spot? I went and found pictures on the internet that day, and what I thought it was a solar flare, but so I will go with A for that one. And wow, I think I'll go with Cornwaldo weed for the other one. That just sounds like a fun time. Back to you. This is K5RFG.
All right, thank you, sir. Got you down there for Alpha and Delta. Thanks for getting in with us there, Ryan. And come back anytime. Always happy to hear you. Our next station, actually, before I go to the next station, this is K8QKO and the WWKY repeater, going through our list of check-ins to the BeaconNet. We are going down to KQ4IZV. James. How you doing, sir? And what do you have for the BeaconNet this evening?
This is KQ4IZV. Just chilling out tonight. It's been a long day of getting stuff done around the house, yard work, trying to clean, get, flowers and stuff planted, trying to figure out what we want to plant and where. I mean, it's getting to be a little late in the season for that here, but, get it done just that way it's decent by July. As far as the trivia goes, I am going to have to shoot at the hip here and say probably... I'm going to go ahead and say Charlie and Alpha for the trivia question. And other than that, business as usual around here. All right, I'm going to turn it back over to Net, and you guys have a good evening. 73, this is KQ4IZV out.
All right, thank you, sir. Got you on there for Charlie and Alpha. Our next station was in and out. That was WB8CXO. And we are now down to AB8MO Andy. How you doing, Andy? And what do you have for the BeaconNet this evening?
W8WKY.
K8QKO, this is AB8MO. Well, it sounds like I need to turn up my mic gain just a smidge more. Curious if it sounds okay, if it's still too bassy. I can roll down the lows a little more, but I think that might be the case. You'll have to let me know. Not using the stock mic, but hopefully it does not sound like I got any hum. Okay, that's the most important thing, right? I'd sure like to know what calibrated eardrums are there, Eric. Inquiring minds want to know. All right. Going to move on to Trivium. I'm going to get on the C Charlie train for the Aid Trivia with the solar prominence or something like that. Yeah, I saw that thing when we had totality here, and you had a little red blob hanging there off the bottom of the sun's disk. So I know what you're talking about. And I got to go with the Cornwaldo weed. I'm intrigued by that. I'm intrigued by Cornwaldo weed. I want to know what that is. So there we go. I'll throw it back to you there, Nick, doing a wonderful job as usual. KE8QKO. Nick at night. I missed you at Cuyahoga Falls, and I missed you too, Eric, and I missed you too, Dustin, and you too, Mike. Only one I saw was just Nick and his chauffeur. At least that was on the BeaconNet crew team. So So just Nick at least showed up. It was great seeing him. Back to you, ABNMO.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Got shot for Charlie and Delta. Yeah, I really wanted to get up there, but I was not able to. We had a pancake breakfast for my son's Boy Scout troop. We've got fundraisers pretty much lined up every month this summer. We're trying to raise money. Next summer, the kids are going to Sea Base in Florida, which is a high adventure camp, and it's a rather expensive high adventure camp, so we're trying to raise as much money as we can, do as many fundraisers as we can this year, try to offset the cost of getting them there, because it's a bit pricey. And I'm going too, but unfortunately, unless we make enough money in the fundraisers to pay for the kids and the adults, the kids get paid first, which is for the best. But yeah, so we're doing that next summer. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. The kids, it's going to be great for the kids. But yeah, so we have that kind of stuff going on this summer, and that's what I was doing Saturday. I was flipping flapjacks again at the pancake breakfast. Okay, we have two more stations here that were in and out. That was W8IVG and WA8KOC, and that takes us down to K8QFT. Uncle Fred, how you doing, sir? And what do you have for the Beacon Net this evening?
Well, as usual, I don't have any idea about the trivia question, so I'm going to say Charlie and Bravo. I did get to look at the eclipse with my like $2 glasses from Drug Mart. They worked. I could still see. I can't think of any jokes tonight, Alan. Not that I can say off the air. So, with that in mind, just don't have much to say right now. Maybe I'll come up with something in the blue screen. In the meantime, y'all be careful out there, because I hear it's going to get nice out. We're not used to that, driving in nice weather on dry roads. So, with that in mind, once again, back to net control, KE8QFT.
All right, thank you, Fred. Got shot for Charlie and Bravo. Yeah, the nice weather. That'll get the best of all of us. And next, we're going to talk to KF8ANT, Stefan. How you doing, sir? And what do you have for the Beacon Net this evening?
KF8ANT. Good evening, Nick, and the rest of the net. I think for trivia, I'll go with Charlie and Alpha, C and A. Nice day today. Pretty happy. Got to mow my yard. Was afraid I would have to rent some goats there for a while because it was so wet. Couldn't get anything through it. But looking forward to this week, and hope everyone has an enjoyable week. I'll turn it back to net control. Thanks.
All right, thank you, sir. Got signed up for Charlie and Alpha. I've already given my yard mowing rant for the evening. And next we're going to talk to KG4SCK. Mark, how you doing, sir? And what do you have for the Beacon Net tonight?
KG4SCK here. Good evening, Nick. At night. Been so long I almost forgot to say that. Nick at night. Down here in Owensboro, Kentucky, and the highlight so far is got here Saturday and went to the granddaughter's junior. Nah, she had a date with some boy going to the prom. They were taking all the pictures and photos of the girls in the gowns, and I found the opportunity to photobomb. I photobombed a couple of them. That was fun. All in good fun. Uh-oh. The wife is looking at me kind of hard now. Anyway, the answer to the trivia questions, well, the first one, Charlie, looks pretty popular. Alan's alternate, that's a humdinger there. He's looking pretty popular, too. I know it's not paprika, because there was a recipe one time. We talked about a pot roast, and it took like an industrial size ingredients of paprika. I didn't care for it, but if that didn't kill me, yeah, that paprika's not it. I'll try dillweed, because, I don't know, don't smoke it. Anyway, I've had enough fun. Thank you, guys. KG4SDK, back to net.
All right, thank you there, Mark. I got you down for Charlie and Charlie. Okay, this is KEAQKO and the WWKR repeater. Going through a list of check-ins with the BeaconNet. Our next station was in out. That was KJ5CLV. And that takes us down to WV3K Phil. How you doing, sir? And what do you have for the BeaconNet this evening?
Net Control, KD3QKO. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo. Well, I don't know if I have anything worth really to say, but I'm just going to share with you that I think that it's I don't know. As far as the one with the different seasonings, I'm going to go with dillyweed. Which I don't know what the letter was for that, but I'm just thinking dillyweed. I mean, I'm going to have to also say that Tom's classic and proper answer is anything in too much volume or constituent content can be dangerous to anyone's health, whether it's good or bad, whether it tastes good or it doesn't. But I'll go with the dillyweed. And for the other question, regarding the little red spot on the lower left-hand corner, but the 6 o'clock area of the solar eclipse during the totality, I saw that also, and frankly, it gave me other thoughts than probably what most people might think. In EMS, I remember seeing cases where children getting into accidents and things like that had red spots on their head, and it was due to trauma. And unfortunately, in some cases, not good, unrecoverable, and others, fortunately, they were able to. It gave me just flashbacks, and I don't know. It's just the quirk of the mind, nothing more. So other than that, I think Tom's answer at first, saying that anything... I think the alligator got me. I think that anything in too much amount could be a better answer. But I'll go with the dillweed. And so that's all I have to share. Back over to Net Control. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, back to KD8 QKO.
All right, thank you, Phil. I was chatting in the blue screen, and I totally missed your trivia answer. Can you come back with your answers one more time? It looks like we have Charlie for your alternate, but I have a question mark for your primary. Can you come back with that, please?
Thank you for catching me on my chattiness. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with the prominence answer, whatever that might be. I don't know. It's a solar prominence of some type, extended beyond the circumferential diaphysis of the eclipse, and that is a prominence. But I don't know. Whatever it's called, that's what I'm going with. So back to that control. Thank you very much, Nick. Doing a great job.
All right, thank you, Phil. Catch down there for Charlie and Charlie. Let's get on and talk to KC3QND. Miss Jeannie, how you doing, ma'am? And what do you have for the Beacon Net this evening?
Hey, QKO, this is KC3QND. Well, I'm doing pretty good. It was a beautiful day, and who cannot feel good on a beautiful day? Sun was shining. You could actually get a sunburn, and it was just great. And my answers for the trivia are C and A. So that sounds good to me. And that's about all that I have, except that the tulips are blooming and people's trees are in blossoms, and it's just a beautiful day to go for a ride. KC3QND, stay safe, and God bless America, everybody. 73.
Yes, Ginny, it was a beautiful day today. We got your answers down as Charlie and Alpha. And next we're going to talk to KC8FQV. Mark, how you doing, sir? And what do you have for the Beacon Net tonight?
All right, KCFQV. I think it's going to be nutmeg is on the one, and prominence is on the other one. So nutmeg and prominence. And yeah, that fest was a good fest yesterday at the Meadow Sun Park. Yep, that's when it was yesterday. You're hearing us talk about it, and you were planning to go there. Well, it's all history now. And you were concerned about the facility. Well, it's all on one floor, but the restrooms are beautiful. The whole building, they really did a facelift on an old building, and they didn't put a ton of money into it. They just did a nice facelift, and it looked good. Floors looked nice and shiny, even though they're just concrete. But there was a lot of stuff to look at. A lot of stuff on the tables and a lot of stuff under the tables. It was a museum. You could take it in as a museum. You could buy the stuff. Where in the world can you go to a museum and buy the stuff that you're looking at? And, of course, you had the camaraderie of all your friends you talked to on the radio. It just was a good time yesterday. And had a good weekend, too. And that, so a nice weekend. So other than that, I know there's some people laughing and chuckling at me. You know what? Be yourself. Look in the mirror at yourself as you do that. So back it comes, KCFQV.
All right, thank you, Mark. Yeah, it sounds like it was a good time. I would have liked to have been there, but sadly I had other obligations. I'll find one later this year to go to. I checked into the morning net. My brain's fried today. I'm totally hosed. And I think it was Fred? No, somebody else suggested, hey, maybe next time I look into see if we can do like a pancake breakfast at the Hamvention, and I do a killing. I think that might be something worth looking into at some point in the future. Is find one of these Hamventions and set up a food stand, maybe with the scouts running things. Might be a pretty good option. So that's worth thinking about in the future as a way to fundraise, because we are a nonprofit, and all the money we make goes back to the kids. We make nothing for the adults. Even myself, when I tow the trailer around, we go camping, I don't get gas money. And I'm okay with that. I'm not complaining about that, but I'm just sharing that, you know, when stuff like this happens, it's all about the kids. So every chance we get is awesome. But thank you, Mark. And let's go down next and talk to, well, before I go to Harry, I want to say this is K8QKO and the WWKY repeater. We're going to talk to K8ZZR Harry and see how he's doing tonight. Harry, what is your comments for the net?
K8QKO, this is KE8ZZR. Good evening, Nick. Good evening, everybody. Not too much going on here. Sounds like they had a pretty good ham fest over in Cuyahoga Falls yesterday. Sorry I couldn't make it. I had another obligation with my RC airplane club I belong to, so I couldn't make the ham fest. But other than that, got some work done around the house today. It was a nice day outside, and that's about it. So looking forward to another week coming up here. So for my trivia questions, the main one is I'm going to go with C, and the alternate will be A. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the net. This is KE8ZZR 73s.
All right, thank you, Harry. Glad you had a nice weekend there, and glad you had a chance to hang out with your RC airplane club. Sounds like a lot of fun. Our next station was AF5JB Matt, who was short time and is apparently now out of range. And that takes us down to, actually, before I would go any further, we're down to my list here. We're past the pre-show jacks. And so I'm going to go all the way back up to KE8QWE, Mike, and try to get the primary question read for us again. And then we'll get the alternate question, and we'll continue on our list, because there's bound to be somebody who has not heard the question at this point. So, Mike, take it away with the question.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. The primary question: what was the red spot at the bottom of the solar eclipse? A, solar flare. B, solar jet. C, solar prominence. D, solar magnetic field. Again, what was the red spot at the bottom of the solar eclipse? A, solar flare. B, solar jet. C, solar prominence. And D, solar magnetic field. This is Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo, back to KE8QKO.
W8WKY.
KF5DAY. Go ahead and take it away with the alternate question, sir.
Not now. I'm right in the middle of the Rothschilds. Some will get that, some won't. KI5DAY back with the alternate trivia question, and tonight's alternate trivia question is: which common spice can be poisonous in large quantities? A, nutmeg. B, paprika. C, dillweed. Or D, Cornwaldo weed. Cornwaldo weed. KI5DAY, back to you.
All right, thank you, Alan. Got your question in there. All right, before I go further, this is KE8QKO, and we're running through our list of check-ins to BeaconNet. And we're going to start with KE8ZIN Joe. How you doing, Joe? And what do you have for BeaconNet this evening?
Good evening, Nick and Night, and all the Beacon netizens. I think for the trivia questions, I am going to go with C, solar prominence, even though I am pretty sure that was light reflecting off of an alien base on the moon. Yes, I said it, and I will wear my tinfoil hat with pride. For the second question, I am going to go with nutmeg, although it should be pumpkin spice. But I'm going to go with nutmeg. Not a whole lot going on today. Had a good weekend. Went down to the Ham Fest in Cuyahoga Falls. Got to meet some people. Ran into Just Nick. AP8MO was there. Saw him and a few other people. Picked up a small DMR HT. So we're going to explain what that. Haven't quite pulled my hair out trying to program it yet, but it's coming. Other than that, that's it. I hope everybody has a great week ahead and enjoy some sunshine. K8ZIN, back to the net.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Got your answers down for Charlie and Alpha. And I will say, wear that tinfoil hat with pride, good sir. Also, if you're looking for a nice accessory to a tinfoil hat, also rain wrap face mask works really, really well. Thank you for your answers of Charlie and Alpha. Next, go down and talk to KI5TAQ. Taco Tim. How you doing, sir? And what do you have for the Beacon Net tonight?
Well, good evening, guys. This is KI5TAQ. To start off with, I'll answer those trivia questions. Take a nice good stab in the dark. For the main trivia question, I'm going to go with C. And for the alternate trivia question, I'm going to go with A. As you guys are talking about Hamfest in your direction, we had Green Country Hamfest here in Oklahoma, and boy, was it great. I got a couple of things from Green Country. Started using one of those things in my car the day the Hamfest closed, and working perfectly. I'm going to work on another item and see if I can get a radio to work on it. And then maybe next month, well, I might see some of you guys up there in Dayton, Ohio for Hamvention. But a lot of us also saw Nickelodeon here at Green Country, plus a few other guys like, some guy named Alan, and of course Dave, and the list can go on and on. But, well, like I said, possibly see you guys up there next month for the Dayton, Ohio Hamvention. This is KI5TAQ.
All right, thank you, Tim. Got something for Charlie and Alpha. And apparently from the blue screen, if you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. So thank you, sir. We have you in there. And next we're going to talk to you, K6KJV, Kevin. How you doing, Kevin? And what do you have for the Beacon Net this evening?
Hello, Nick, and everybody else on the net. This is K6KJV, Kevin in Valley Springs, California. And let's get the port stuff out of the way. I'm going to go with Charlie Alpha. That's right, Charlie and Alpha, the California answers there, or the Hotel California, whatever. And I don't really got too much to say right now. I'm just shoveling my dinner in my face and trying to keep it down, and having a pretty good time listening to the net. So K6KJV is passing it back to you, Nick. Take it away. Mike is yours, sir.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Got you down for Charlie and Alpha. Next we have KE5NCP. Tom, how you doing, sir? What do you have to Beacon Net this evening?
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
This is KE5NCP, and been interesting listening to everything on the net tonight, and enjoying the blue screen over here and watching what's going on out there. Don't believe everything Alan says. Whatever he says is probably not true. Anyway, we'll throw that out there. We went to the Hamfest down here in Claremore, Oklahoma this weekend. Took our new to us motorhome out there and stayed in the RV park and spent a couple of nights out there, and everything worked according to form, so hey, we're in good shape. Anyway, enjoyed meeting Nick and Cindy there at the Hamfest. It was always nice to meet people from out of the area that come up and do things like that. So really nice to see them. Anyway, let's see. For the trivia stuff, I'm going to go with Charlie and Alpha. For the two there. And with that, we'll say 73 to everybody and turn back to net control. KE5NCP.
All right, thank you, Tom. Glad you had a good time at the Hamfest there. Got you down for Charlie and Alpha. Next, we get on and talk to VK2DY, Robert from Sydney, Australia. Robert, how's life done in Sydney for you?
Yes, good afternoon. This is Robert, VK2DY in northwestern Sydney. 1:11 p.m. Monday afternoon, Australian Eastern Standard Time. We've been on Standard Time now for a week, and we'll be until October when we go back to daylight savings time. But it is what it is, getting used to it, getting dark so early. We've had a stretch of beautiful, beautiful days here. Temperature right now, Fahrenheit-wise, is about 80, and we've had about a good week of that warm weather here. The weather's been much better in the autumn than it was in the summer. So yesterday I went off. Australian trees are not deciduous. That's pretty much a given. So in order to find autumn color, I have to go find some place that has lots of trees imported from Europe and North America. There's this place up in the Blue Mountains called Mount Wilson that is almost completely planted in European trees, and it's a gorgeous location. So we went up there yesterday to take a look, and a lot of autumn colors up there. About a week early, I think. I would have probably been better to wait a week, but still a lot of colors up there, beautiful. And also they grow chestnut up there, so we got chestnuts, and on the way back we stopped at Bilton and got some apples. They have a pick-your-own-apple place. It's a major apple-producing region north of Sydney. So a really good day. It was beautiful, gorgeous, out for a drive in the wonderful sunshine. Just enjoyable. But that's what's going on here. Other than that, I'm going to take Charlie and Alpha for the answers. VK2 back to that.
All right, thank you, Robert. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I half listened because I was chatting in the blue screen and in Discord, and I did not catch your trivia answers. They're probably going to show up here in a minute, but I'm going to make sure that you gave them. Would you like to come back? Oh, Charlie and Alpha. There they are. See? My honesty made me look silly. Thank you there, Robert. We always appreciate you. Sorry I didn't quite catch everything you had to say, being distracted as I am at the net control station, and how my day has gone. But thank you, sir. All right, this is KAQKO, the WWQR repeater. Going to also check us the BeaconNet. And we are going down to next KI5 RFI Mac. How you doing, Mac? And what do you have for the BeaconNet?
good evening, Nick, and everybody on the net. And greetings from the land of opportunity, Northwest Arkansas. Had a great weekend. It was very hot today. Got up in the around 80 degrees, I guess. We had a big 9 and under baseball tournament here in Northwest Arkansas. My grandson's team participated, and proud to say that they won the whole shebang after 7 hours in the sun today. And it was a long day, but it was a lot of fun. I'm going to go with trivia answers of Charlie and Alpha. This is KI5 RFI. Back to net.
All right, thank you, Mac. Got you on there for Charlie and Alpha. Okay, next we have KF4 JIG, Janet. How you doing, Janet? And what do you have for the Beacon Net this evening? Kilo, Foxtrot 4, Julia, India, Golf. Janet, are you out there? Do you have traffic for the Beacon Net? All right, perhaps Janet had to step away, so that happens. All right, this is KNQKO, the WAWKY repeater. Let's take another round of check-ins before we go up and talk to our net control team. So, anyone who has not checked into the Beacon Net that would like to check into the Beacon Net, please say your call sign phonetically, followed by alphabetically, along with your name and location.
This is KG5SYC, Kilo Golf 5, Sierra Yankee Charlie, with KF5ADE. And, yeah, we're pretty mobile.
We're on the highway.
We're venturing out, so everybody knows about it. We'll talk about it later. This is KG5SYC.
All right, I had KG5SYC and KF5ADE, so let's go up and talk to them. Miss Sandy, go ahead with your comments for the Beacon Net.
This is KG5SYC. Comments. Let's do trivia, because this will tell it all. Brain dead. That's my answers for the trivia, both of them. Brain dead. That's what it is. I thought I was going to get to pull off the road up just on the other side of Dallas, and the other half had other alternatives to take us all the way back to Waco. So, yeah, fighting traffic and a 7.5-hour drive in a 32-foot RV, yeah, nothing but brain dead. But on the other note, had a wonderful time with the Oklahoma group. They're all a hoot. And I'll do something for the KF5ADE to talk to you a little bit about, too. But sure had a good time with all those guys. And it was good to put a face to the
sound
voice.
There you go. Yeah, voice.
So this is KG5SYC.
All right, thank you, Sandy. You said brain dead. So what we'll do is we'll put you down for Bravo and Delta and see how you turn out. Good luck hauling that 32-footer around. I've got to say, I've got a 19-footer, and that's really all I want. I don't want anything bigger than that because I understand the pain of hauling a bigger RV, and I'm happy with a smaller one every chance I get. My wife wants a bigger one, but then I said, well, you can haul it because I don't want to. All right, let's see how KF5ADE Nickelodeon is doing, if he's out there and wants to come back. Go ahead, Nick.
Good evening. This is KF5AD Nickelodeon. And yeah, I am the navigator, aka writer, of the, and it is a 32-foot Class C RV, just to be more specific. It's not, she's not dragging a trailer. If we both agreed we would not do trailers because trailers are just a handful to do, and those that want to have the trailer, my hat's off to them. But I don't. So we have a 32-foot Class C, which is a little smaller than a Winnebago. It's like a big overgrown, well, I was going to say van, but no, that's kind of understating that idea too. So, but nonetheless, it's long, and she's the driver because she is a better driver than I am. I have a tendency to very oversize the road. Down the road, so it looked more like a serpentine dragon rather than being a nice slinky snake that goes straight down the middle of the road. And that's where the differences is there, and it scares the living bejeegers out of Sandy when I'm driving and I get too far over either one side to the other. I start sniffing either the 18-wheeler to my left, or I start playing with the roadkill on the right. So that can happen as well. Or even creating some roadkill on the right. But nonetheless, we're going to get the trivia done before my poor brain goes to pot. And it's the prominence. I don't remember which letter it was, but it's for the prominence and the nutmeg, because that nutmeg, I thought it came, I know it comes from out of North Carolina, but something about my birthday or birth month or something like that has to do with nutmeg. Maybe I'm just a little nutty. So there you go. But I'm pretty sure we're going to go with nutmeg. And let me think. We did a wonderful time. My hats off to Alan and crew and Grant for helping me get the RV battery replaced. He drove us over to get a battery taken care of, and I better grab a nickel before I get to be too winded. So let me do that real fast, y'all. KF580 will be right back.
W8WK.
Okay, hopefully I didn't get to that timeout. I heard that receiver go spaz on there. So, but yeah, Grant helped me with getting a new battery for the RV because we needed it to get it jacked up, and my house battery has been dying on us lately, and I had a feeling it was going to. I just didn't expect it to do it this time around, but it did. And so we got it fixed. Other than that, we're down here in, just like Sandy said, just north of Waco, Texas, here on 35, and at a RV campground for the night. We are in. We've got the one slide out. The living room slide stayed in just to kind of help us keep things, buckled up for the night, but I'll take care of that in the morning along with everything else, and I've got to get this. I wish I could say I could throw her into bed, but she won't go to bed. She won't go to bed before midnight, even no matter how tired she is. She will not go to bed before midnight. So I'll go ahead and get dishes cleaned up and probably do that tonight. And she'll sit and play with her game or listen to the net. I better let it go. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you so much for putting up with a chatty Nick tonight. So this is KF5AD, back to Net Control.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Got you down for Charlie and Alpha. Yeah, okay. I got you. You got a 32-foot Class C. We've got a little 19-foot travel trailer right now that we use for camping when we seem to have the time. Don't get out as much as I want to, but we have it. I told my wife, I said, one day my son's going to go off to college. We're going to upgrade. We're going to get rid of that travel trailer. We're going to get us either a Class B or a Class C, and that's what we're going to use, and we're going to do some traveling on our own when I don't have to deal with school and kids and all that kind of gobbledygook, and kind of have a semi-retirement, if you will. Maybe do some work from the remote, work on the road, and enjoy some of that time. So I can appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Glad you guys are all buckled in for the night. get Sandy some rest, and enjoy the rest of your ride home tomorrow. Okay, this is KEAQKO and the WAWKY repeater. Are there any additional check-ins to the Beacon Net before we go up and talk to our net control team? If there are, please say your call sign phonetically, followed alphabetically along with your name and location.
Kilo Echo 5 November Charlie Papa, recheck.
Go ahead with your recheck.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Since Sandy and Nick checked in there from down towards Waco, I just wanted to tell them that we enjoyed meeting them at the Hamfest, and we head to Winnebago over there just across from you. So glad you made it all the way down to the Waco area there, and hope you have a good trip the rest of the way in. 73 KE5 NCP.
All right, 73, Tom. I'm sure Nick and Sandy heard you there. Okay, let's go up and talk to our net control team. We're going to start with K8VZA Eric. How you doing, sir? And what do you have for the Beacon Net tonight?
KE8QKO in the group. This is KE8VZA. Just rolling along here with the logging. Doing well. Everybody else sounding good out there. Good to hear from everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Trivia, before I forget, I'm going to go with Charlie and Alpha, which I'll enter shortly here. And what else has been going on here? Got the grass cut. It was a little challenging way in the back where it's the lowest. I had to kind of go around some stuff because otherwise the mower would have, sunken. So we avoided that. It was good. Looks pretty decent. Let's see, swimming at the wreck. I hit a new personal record, 1,200 meters, which is 1.2 kilometers. I like doing that conversion. Well, it's easy. But anyway, felt good. I just kept on going and going and going. It was great. Let's see, Nor's lunch on Saturday. This past Saturday was good. We were graced with the presence of KD8SLG and KB8LNK. They came up fresh out of the Hamfest, and we all enjoyed it. It was good. Got the snow tires off the Mustang, so Mando's got his sport shoes on now, and is very sprightly. So what else? Made a contact with Eddie over in Wales on Monday, right before the eclipse. That was pretty interesting. I was just walking by the radio and heard a voice and threw my call out there. And got the taxes done today for me and both of the kids, and got it submitted. So the one kid had a few interesting things that we had to work out that ended up being non-issues. But anyway, that's it. I will turn it back to Net Control. This is KE8VZA.
All right, thank you, Eric. Yeah, got mine done today as well. Well, I always hate doing taxes now because, honestly, up until the last few years, ever since, I don't know if it's our president's fault or not, but since he took office, this is the first time I've ever had to pay taxes in my life at the end of the year. So toss that out there for whatever it's worth. But yeah, it's always fun to do and write that check at the end of the year. Okay, next we have K8QWE Mike. We get his comments. We are not going to get the trivia answer, Mike. Just give us your comments.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. Okay, first thing, the trivia. For the alternate, I am going to go with A. I have no idea whether it's right or wrong, but it's as good as any other answer. At taxes, this year I've had more people owe and got smaller refunds than I've ever seen. So I'm not sure what all is going on. I'm curious myself because I did my own taxes and I sent them in and I paid the bill. It's the biggest tax bill I've ever had. I could have bought a really nice radio for what I sent them today, but oh well. Hey, it is life. Well, I went to church. My wife and I went to church. I was playing guitar in church. I couldn't figure out, man, what's wrong? Something sounds terrible. Here, the piano is out of tune. All of the guitars were in tune, but the piano wasn't, so it sounded bad. But oh well, hey, it's all fun and games. I came home, ate a little lunch, and I went out and mowed the lawn. That was an interesting thing. And then I took a nap. I did our taxes, and then my wife and I went out with some friends. We went over to Murray's over in Wadsworth, and that was a great meal. So, other than that, I don't have a whole lot more to say. Other than I had a great day. This is Kilo Echolink. Quebec Whiskey Echo. Back to KE8QKO.
All right, thank you, Mark. And yeah, I'll say this year was definitely the largest of all the tax bills I had to pay. Don't know why. Don't know why either, but it was. Thank you, sir. We'll get back to you when the trivia answer needs read. And let's go down and talk to KD8EPC Dustin. How you doing, sir? And what do you have for the Beacon Net tonight? Kilo Delta 8, Echo Papa Charlie. Dustin, are you out there? Do you have comments for the Beacon Net? All right, perhaps Dustin had to turn into a pumpkin and go to bed. Let's go on and talk to KD8SLG, Nick. Just Nick. How you doing, sir? And what do you have for the Beacon Net?
W8WKY.
What a perfect time for a word from our sponsor. I was going to drag it out, Nick, just, because. KE8QKO, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Nick, and all of the Beacon netizens. It's fine to be here. What's fun tonight, man? Great net. Let's get trivia out of the way. I'm going to go with Charlie and Alpha, like most folks. I decided that early on. I didn't wait for you guys. I promise. Other than that, man, I could talk to Eric all night long. He threw a whole bunch in there. For those of you who got to meet Nick and Sandy out in Oklahoma, they're good peeps. I've had dinner with them a few times up here in Ohio, and they're a blast. So I'm glad some of you all got to meet them. The pumpkin roll is still absolutely fabulous, Nick. I sliced off 3 thin little slices, as you saw there on Discord, here on the Beacon Multimedia Net. And, yeah, so thanks for that, Nick. And KD4SEK will get you some next time, I promise. This is KD8SLG. That's all I got tonight. If that's not enough, sorry. Stick around for the after show. Back to net control. Thanks, Nick.
All right, not a problem, Nick. And Mark, if it helps, the meeting that I delivered the pumpkin rolls, I didn't have enough for everybody. And Nick gracefully bowed out of his pumpkin roll, so I got him one later on in the holiday season. So he got his late, but yeah, when I brought them, I miscounted the number of rolls that I needed, and I'm just missing one. That was just for the Beacon Net crew. I couldn't even bring it for the whole club. That'd be a huge endeavor. Anyway, thank you, Nick. Appreciate you. I'm glad you liked the pumpkin roll. And let's go down and talk to KI5DAY and get his comments for the Beacon Net this evening. Alan, take it away.
KI5DAY on the net. Hey, it's good to hear that Sandy and Nick made it into the net. I didn't expect them to make it. I didn't know where they were or if they were stopping again or what. I figured they'd stop somewhere, but Waco, I guess. I think that's what Sandy said, but it was good to hear them check in, and we had quite a bit of good times to hang out there at the Boredom Breaker Net. We had a good time, and they got to experience the joys and the wonders of rib crib in Oklahoma. And yes, we had okra. Of course we did. What else? And we spent some quality time, too, both nights talking on the radio after we all left. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we had a great time with them. I hope they enjoyed themselves up here with us Okies. And what else? The main trivia question, I'll go with D for Doofus, and we'll call that good. But it's been a long weekend. I'm kind of tired, too, man. I think everybody got wore out up there. I know a lot of people worked hard to put that together. And at the end of it, we were kind of trying to help people put stuff up a little bit. And Greg and Judy and all their good stuff that they brought. And Miss Judy, Greg's wife, AI5HV, she makes all kinds of really cool trinkets and stuff like that, and name badges and neon light stuff and all kinds of wonderful things. So I got a ham radio name badge from her, and it has my call sign, and it has my first name and all day long on it, so I'm pretty proud of it. But it's been a great net. I've really enjoyed it, and I'll be waiting to give the answer in a bit. KI5DAY, back to you.
All right, thank you, Alan. Yeah, I have some comments tonight besides the usual repertoire. I will say, if you're using a circular saw, be extra, because I've been using one for years. I always thought that it would never happen to me, and sure enough, something happened and my piece of wood slipped and I moved my hand. I don't know why I did it, but I did it, and I moved it right into the saw blade and ended up in the ER. I didn't know how bad it was at first. At first, I kind of freaked out because I was like, oh, crap, I'm going to cut my finger off, or I just cut my finger off or something. So I ran in the house, and I yelled at my kid to call Mom because she had jumped out of the driveway, and I'm like, I need to go to the ER. And, yeah, that was my afternoon yesterday, was flipping pancakes and going shopping and spending time with my kid, and today was damn near cutting my finger off. Thankfully, it didn't. I didn't have to have any stitches, which makes me very happy. So, taking pre-precautions with the blade and the saw and being careful what you're doing ahead of time before you start, so that when you make a mistake, if you make a mistake, can also be helpful. So, my public service announcement is always make sure that the depth of your blade is set to the thickness of your wood, because if it's not, you might lose a finger. And that's right. And my answers for the trivia are alpha and alpha. I will take a break for time. Okay, we've gone through everything. This is KEAQKO and that's WWKR repeater. We're going to do one more round of check-ins before we go up and get our trivia answers. So, anyone who has not checked into the Beacon Net that would like to check into the Beacon Net, please say your call sign phonetically, followed alphabetically, along with your name and location.
Okay, self-QV recheck. Nick, let's.
Go ahead with your recheck, Mark.
All right, I was just going to say, was doing pancake flipping for the Cub Scouts and that. Yeah, when we had the AmFest with the 4-H County Amateur Radio Service out at the Randolph Fair, we had a 4-H club do the concession. They used the dining hall there, and it really worked out well. So, just going to make that mention. I know the Falls has, that what happened this year. They had a vendor that was going to be doing the thing. I guess they said that something happened at the last minute. So, I was just sending it back in that. But, yeah, having an organization help you, like, do the food, sometimes the people will be very generous to you, since you're there, and it is all for a cause. So, KSFQV.
thanks, Mark. Yeah, it's one of those things where we're always looking for, taking the kids out, like going camping. Yeah, they have to pay the fees to go camping, but like all the merit badges and everything. There's a lot of costs involved in running a small nonprofit, even if it's just 15 kids like we have. There's costs involved, and we try to figure out how to raise money for that sort of thing. But I really never thought of trying to reach out to the local ham fest. I don't know why I didn't. I should have thought of that, but that would be a good opportunity for us to try to do something. And so I think next year I'm going to try to do a lot more of that, is look at what's going on, reach out to the local clubs, and try to come up with better opportunities, because that's it's not just a good way to raise money. It's a good way to get kids exposed to ham radio or some other thing, and get people in the community exposed to the kids, and so there's options there. So yeah, I definitely want to look at that in the future. I appreciate that, and yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, this is KEA-QKO. Looks like we had a recheck there, and but that's about it. So we're going to go up and get our trivia answers. So let's go up and talk to KEA-QWE Mike, and get our answer for the primary question. Mike, take it away.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. What is the red spot at the bottom of the solar eclipse? A, solar flare. B, solar jet. C, solar prominence. D, solar magnetic field. And the answer is C, solar prominence, which most folks knew, which is good, because when I first saw what is that thing, I'm sitting there thinking, I thought, well, it's a flare. Nope, it's a solar prominence, which is, as I can tell, it's let me look at it. Yeah, according to NASA, solar prominence is a large, bright feature extending outward from the surface of the sun. So, I guess it's just a thing. So that is trivia. I'm glad that everybody knew it. And I was very much impressed with the eclipse. So this is Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo, KEA-QKO. See you later, folks.
All right, thank you, Mike. I got that one wrong, but I'm pretty sure I got the next one right. So we'll see how this one goes. Thanks for the question there, Mike. Let's go down and talk to KI5 DIY Alan and get our alternate answer read for us.
KI5DAY back in the net. Yeah, man, it's been a great net as always. I really enjoyed the heck out of the Beacon net. It's just too much fun to be real. And if for those of you who don't use the NetLogger program or ragchew.app website, you're missing half the net in the blue screen. It's fun. I don't say a whole lot in there, but once in a while I chime in. Hi. And if you didn't see the thing about the mad photo bomber, you got to check that out. That's hysterical. Let me let this drop, and I will read tonight's alternate trivia. Tonight's alternate trivia was, which common spice can be poisonous in large quantities? Well, technically, anything in mass quantities can give you some kind of poison, I guess, if you ate too much of anything, spice or otherwise, or some foods, if you had eaten excess, at least your hips wouldn't lie. Hi. But let's see, the answers were nutmeg, A, paprika was B, C was dillweed, and D was Cornwall weed. Yes, most of you got it right, it was nutmeg. It's an interesting thing, though, about nutmeg. They say that it can be toxic or even fatal in large quantities, as little as 2 teaspoons. If you just ate that by itself, could actually kill you or cause severe hallucinations, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, and irregular heartbeat within 1 to 6 hours after ingestion. The funny thing is, though, it's also, in small quantities, a rich source of antioxidants. So there you go. Crazy stuff, nutmeg. KI5DAY, back to the net. Great net, guys.
All right, thank you, Alan. Yeah, I originally thought when you said the answer, I'm like, oh, it must be, I think it's saffron. And then when you said nutmeg, I'm like, oh, I heard something about that. And then you read all the other answers, and so I knew it wasn't dill, because dill is a natural herb, and you could put so much dill in everything. I knew it wasn't paprika, because paprika is a blend of spices, and obviously Delta, we all know the Cornwaldo bean, and we love the Cornwaldo bean, but it's never the right answer, except the Cornwall Doberman. That was the only Cornwaldo bean right answer we've had on that, I think, as far as I'm aware. So thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. And, okay, we're at the bottom of our list here. This is KEAQKO on the WWQR repeater. We've got all of our check-ins. We've got all of our net control stations conversed with. We've got our trivia answers read, and we're going to do this. We're going to one more round, and only one more round, of anyone else who would like to check into the BeaconNet. Please say your call sign phonetically, followed by alphabetically, along with your name and location.
Control, this is Kilo Zero Echo Charlie Kilo, Kilo Zero Echo Charlie Kilo. My name is Gail. I'm in Kyle, Texas.
Alpha India 5, Quebec AI 5Q, recheck.
November 9, Papa Golf Echo.
All right, I'm going to take it right there. I had a, I think it was Kilo Zulu, all right, hang on a second. Gale. Okay, was it Gale? Was that Kilo Zero Echo, quote, or Charlie Kilo? Was that correct?
Yeah, my call is Kilo Zero Echo Charlie Kilo. And we were just kind of looking around. I don't think I've checked into this net before.
Yeah, I don't think you have either. That's why I wasn't familiar with your call, and I heard it differently. So we have Kilo Zero Echo Charlie Kilo Gale. Thank you. We will get to you in just a moment, ma'am. We had a recheck from AI5Q, and we had a check-in from November 4 Papa Golf Echo. Is that correct? Can you come back with your call sign that last check-in?
The call is November 9, Papa Golf Echo. Need 9 pretty good excuses. The name is Mick, and I'm not too far from you guys. I am in Elkhart, Indiana, N9PGE.
All right, thank you, Mick. We got you in there. I couldn't read my own handwriting. I overwrote myself and got the call wrong, but we got you in there correctly. All right, here's what we're going to do. We got 2 new check-ins with the BeaconNet. We're going to talk to them before we're going to talk to our recheck. So, Kilo Zero Echo Charlie Kilo. Gail, how you doing? And what do you have for the BeaconNet this evening?
Okay, yes. Hello, Net Control. This is Kilo Zero Echo Charlie Kilo. I just wanted to say hello. I check in to a lot of the daytime nets, the Alaska Morning Net, the Friendship Net, the Calabunga Net, the PSRG repeater nets. So this is called the BeaconNet, like Bravo, Echo, Alpha,
Charlie Oscar November, correct? Back to net, Kilo 0, Echo Charlie Kilo.
That is correct. This is the Beacon Net. We are part of the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association out of Doylestown, Ohio, which is a little bit south of Cleveland, a little bit west of Akron. So that's kind of where we're located. And this net runs normally every night at 10 p.m. Tonight we're actually running a little bit over the time we usually do. This is Eastern time, by the way. So you might not have heard us too often because we usually don't run. Usually the net stops at around 11:30, so Eastern time. So we're kind of running a little bit over tonight, which may be why you're hearing us, why you're able to check in with us if you're not usually in here earlier. But and a lot of that information, honestly, you're catching the tail end of the net, so if you hang around for just a few more minutes, we'll have all of this information readily available as well in our little exit comments from the net, which we're about to wrap up. So if you want to hang around, you're welcome to. You can hear a lot more about the net and other nets that we're associated with to get in with us. But yes, we are the Beacon Net on the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association repeater in Doylestown, Ohio. Back to you, Gav. All right, nothing heard from Gail there. Let's go down and talk to N9PGE. Mick, how you doing, sir? And what do you have for the Beacon Net this evening?
W8WKY.
November 9, Papa Golf Echo. Mick, are you out there? And do you have comments for the Beacon Net from Elkhart, Indiana? Conveniently, there's been some RV conversations tonight, so I'm not sure if you would be interested or not. Are you out there? Okay, nothing here from Mick there either. Let's go on and get our recheck from AI5Q Jarris. How you doing, sir? And what is your recheck?
Well, good evening, and I just wanted to say that my recheck is in reference to Nutmeg. The Connecticut, I'm not sure how to say it, Connecticutans are also known as nutmeggers because they would sell nutmeg to unsuspecting people who had no idea what it was and didn't realize that it had to be grated in order to provide a decent spice for pies and breads and stuff like that. And so they probably thought they were sold useless nutmeg as a wooden nut kind of thing. So I just want to point out that nutmeggers is a type.
All right, Jarris. It sounds like you got cut off there, but it sounds like, if I got your conversation correctly, don't visit Connecticut because they will sell you bogus nutmeg. If that's correct, come back, please.
Yeah, that's basically it. I wasn't watching the dashboard to see if my node cut out, so It probably went dead for about 8 seconds before it keyed back up, and I've got to fix that at some point in time, but I just haven't been bothered to do it yet. So there you go. AI 5Q back to net.
Not a problem, Jairus. I totally understand. I have a giant list of things I haven't been bothered to do yet, like actually connect my node to Wi-Fi so I can unplug it from my router and move it around the house. I keep saying I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish the setup and actually connect it to my Wi-Fi or maybe the Wi-Fi in my truck so I can travel with it. And I haven't done that yet, so I totally understand. All right, this is K8QKO on the W8WKO repeater, and we're at the bottom of our check-in, sir. I mean, we're almost at midnight. This is a long net, much longer than usual, so it's an awesome net. I appreciate everybody who's checked in, and I've got some comments for you. On behalf of the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association, myself, K8KWE, K8BZA, K8SLG, K8EPC, and KI5DIY, I would like to thank each and every one of you for checking in with us this evening. Come and join us on the next edition of the BeaconNet, Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the W8WKY repeater, Allstar Node 48496, and Echolink W8WKY-R. You are welcome to join us on the Barometer Net, also on the W8WKY repeater, every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, except for Sunday. Don't forget to check out our friends on the Boredom Breaker Net every day at noon Central Time on Allstar Node 49562 and Echolink N5XQK-R. You've been listening to the BeaconNet. This is K8QKO, returning the repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use at this time. 73 all.
KG5SYC. What's this? No after party? I'm dead tired and I'm staying awake to listen to you talk about me. Come on, guys. Gotta say something. KG5SYC.
KG5SYC, K8QKO. I'm here. I will say it's late for me as well. Not as late for me as it is for you, I think. Or not as late for you as it is for me. It's almost midnight for me, so it's about pumpkin time. Heard you out there. Heard you had a long drive. But I'm going to say I'm going to step away because I have to hit the blue room because I've been sitting here for 2 hours doing a net. Anyway, Sandy, I'll be back in a minute and I can chat a little bit. And, yeah, that's all I've got. Back to you, ma'am, and anyone else who wants to get in for comments.
KG5SYC. Yes. Let's occupy the blue room, the yellow room, the green room, the purple room, the pink room. Yeah, whatever room color you might have might be a good idea. I'll talk to you in a bit, KG5SYC.
KI5DAY. Just wanted to say a quick howdy to Mr. Nick there. Miss Sandy, hope you guys are well. Hope your trip has been okay on the way home. And it was sure good to meet you guys, and hope everything's going good.
KG5SYC, KI5DAY. Oh, my, I can tell you're sitting there near your computer as it's talking in the background to you. But we had a good drive, I guess. Miss Sandy went brain dead. Miss Sandy was hoping that we would pull off just past Dallas so that Miss Sandy could have some time to recoup. But Mr. Nick decided that she needed to press on to Waco, another 1,000 miles down the road. KG5SYC.
All right, KG5SYC, KA2KO. Are you still out there and staying awake?
This is KG5SYC. I'm here. I don't know how awake I am, but I'm here because my body doesn't really crack until 2 o'clock in the morning, even though she could be dead tired. KG5SYC, back to you.
Yeah, I know the feeling. My body's pretty well crashed at this point, but I slept in this morning. Yesterday was a long day. I got up about 6, did the pancake breakfast, took my son, I went out shopping, stayed up with him, and watched a movie, and I passed out in bed around 11:30 last night, and then slept in this morning quite late, which was good and bad at the same time, because now I'm awake at midnight, and I should be going to bed so I can get up to go to work tomorrow. But, yeah, that's where I'm at. It's been a long day, and, yeah, a long day. I'm sure you know the feeling. Long days in different ways, I should say. Back to you, ma'am.
KG5SYC. Oh, yeah, I can totally relate. With the long days, but I'm so programmed to being a night person. I guess that's when after I got out of high school, I started working for donut shops, and so I worked overnight, and so, you know, I just always was a nighttime individual, and so I guess it kind of settled in, so I'm definitely a night owl. And I like sleeping during the day. The lights and that kind of just makes me even more so more tired, which isn't good, particularly when you get tired from the drive, and then, you know, I don't go to sleep very easily, so that's a plus. So KG5SYC, back to you.
I tend to be more of a night owl myself, but life has, dealt me many of curves as far as scheduling goes. So I've worked pretty much every schedule I could possibly think of at some point in time in my life, which means that I have to adapt. Straight out of high school. Out of high school, I went in the Air Force. I'm not sure what Nick did, but I was security forces, security police, and I think now it's called force something or other. They've changed the names over the years, and it's all pretty much the same deal. But when I did that, I worked every possible shift that the Air Force could ever give me at some point in time in my life. So I'm used to having different shifts and adjusting my schedule accordingly if I have to. It's just for the last, let's say 20-ish years, I've been pretty much on a 9 to 5. And that's kind of where I've been. So for whatever it's worth. Anyway, back to you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. I guess I could say that I've worked all different types of shifts, too, because I worked food service, so I definitely, and I worked in the school, so I'd sit there and had to do breakfast, so I had to be in there early. And, of course, we always served lunch to the kiddos, and we had cleanup. And then, so I did that. I worked McDonald's, which was more of a mid-afternoon shift, and got all the busload of kids coming in for ball games and college and everything, and they tore up the place, with as many people that came in there, and the size of the building really couldn't hold all the kids that came in on those buses, but we did the best we could. And then I did donut shops, and I worked for Radio Shack, and I guess I could say I worked for the Officers Club for a stint too. So, and that was a nighttime job, or evening to nighttime. So yeah, I worked here, there, and probably everywhere. Back to you.
Yeah, similar boat. I worked in food service as well for a number of years, both before I went into the military and after I got out. And worked in machine shops starting at 6 a.m. in the morning. And since I went back to school with my GI Bill, that was the best choice ever made, by the way. I worked first mostly evenings and morning day jobs, and haven't had to work the nights in a while, which is awesome. But yeah. I understand. Crazy shifts, they call for crazy times, and sometimes you have to adapt and adjust and all that kind of stuff. I know that this is kind of late for me lately. Been trying to adjust my schedule to be an earlier person, to do more things, mostly because to work out and stay active and do some of the things I want to do, I have to get up in the morning before the family gets up. Otherwise, I don't have time to do it. That's the way life has been lately, is if I don't get up early in the morning and do the things I want to do, I don't get to them, unfortunately. Anyway, back to you, Sandy.
Yeah, thought I'd give it a break in there, KG5SYC. I know how that goes. I sit there and had to do a lot with the kiddos by myself. Have 4 kids, and they all had their own friends and their own endeavors and their own likes and places they wanted to go. And with Nick sometimes being gone, either deployments or gone TDY or just out doing exercises or just work. Anyway, a lot of it was left on me to see that the kids was able to get to their friend's house, particularly when he went to Turkey for that time frame. I wanted the kids to be able to have fun with their friends, so I went ahead and catered, taking them to a lot of their friends' places and that, so they could have some socialization and even spend the night with their friends and that. So it was different. And then I sat there and hooked up with a friend, basically on the computer, and was able to hook the boys up with someone that would kind of take some time out and have a male figure to hang out with and shoot BB guns and stuff like that. And he became a very good friend. Made Nick jealous and everything, but there was nothing going on when I except for friendship. But the main thing was that the boys had a good time with them. KG5XYC, back to you.
Yeah, I totally understand. I was single when I was in, so I never had to deal with the family stuff. And it makes me think of, a lot of times when people realize that you were in the military, they thank you for your service. And I'm not saying that's not appreciated, but I don't hear a lot of people thanking the dependents for the service because, the life changes that you have to deal with when people are deployed or when they're on TDY or when they're on exercises. That's not something that most people have to deal with, and those are challenges as well that are often, I think, overlooked in our society. Anyway, back to you, man. KAKKO.
KG5SYC. Yeah, that's so true. And what's really sad is with the fellow dependents stateside are so different stateside than they are when they're overseas. I guess because when you're overseas you have nobody and you have to lean on each other, so you become a very tight group and you meet a lot of new friends, and you carry those friends with you when you come back to the States. And that's the way it is pretty true with us. The friends that we've met overseas, we seem to keep more in contact with than those people that we've met stateside. I do have a very, very good friend. She's like a sister to me, and we met up in North Dakota. Of course, North Dakota. It's kind of an isolated area, and you kind of have to lean on each other because you're out in the middle of nowhere when you're at Grand Forks, and you get snowed in and that. So you kind of have to work with your neighbors to have a good time. And I met this one woman, and she just was a perfect match. We were both crazy, and I guess that's why I get along very well with just Nick and Andy and Josh and all those up there. And then let's put in the Oklahoma group. Yeah, they're just about as crazy as all of us, and I felt like I fit right in there with all their craziness. This is KG5SYC.
Yeah, there's times I realize that I dodged the proverbial bullet by not having ever been deployed to a missile base like North Dakota, because as far as my job went, if you got deployed to North Dakota, your job sucked. I was lucky in that I got assigned to Bowling Air Force Base, which doesn't exist anymore, in D.C., and we didn't have a flight line, so all we had was the law enforcement. and I didn't have to deal with any of that kind of nonsense unless I went overseas. I went to Saudi and Kuwait a couple of times, but for the most part, no combat, nothing like that. So I was very, very fortunate in my my military career and my deployments, and I understand that. But and also being single, because being stationed in D.C. when you're single was pretty darn awesome for a 20-something guy. Toss that out there. Anyway, back to you, ma'am. KAQKO.
Yeah, we've moved around quite a bit when Nick was in the military. As Nick said, we moved around quite a bit before we went in the military. It seemed like that our life consisted of 2 moves per time because we would move from one place to another place, and then we would end up moving again a year or so later. But then when you got in the military, it was like we'd go into one house, and then we would be on the housing list, so then we could get into a bigger house. So then we'd move into one house. A year later, we'd move into another house, and then yeah, as Nick said, we sat there and had in 22 months. We moved into some apartments in Kansas and had an apartment fire, which burned up a lot of stuff, and so we had to move out of one apartment into another apartment. So about every year or two we were moving. KG5SYC, back to you.
Yeah, again, I never had to worry about that, because when you first go in, at least for me anyway, it was you go to your first duty station, you get your 3-level, you kind of sit around, and if you're only doing 4 years, you don't really go anywhere besides your first duty station unless you really, really want to. At one point, I changed my my dream sheet to go to Korea, and so I pretty much immediately got orders to Korea. I'd heard, as being a young 20-year-old myself, I was like, I've heard stories of people that went to Korea. I'm like, I want to go there and do that crazy stuff, which is essentially how I ended up in the Air Force to begin with, because of stories my grandfather told me during World War II. But then I met a girl, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go anymore. So I changed my orders, and they rescinded them. I stayed in D.C. And then that girl didn't last very long. But regardless, that was how life went for me. So I never had to travel a lot or have to go through the family stuff. And but I appreciate the people that had to. Anyway, back to you, ma'am. KEXUKO.
KG5SYC. Yes, definitely. Military life is not for the weak, that's for sure. Being a dependent and having to put up with 20 years to a retirement is definitely not for a weak person to take on, because the military life is definitely not an easy one. I have kids that totally enjoyed moving around and doing being here, being there, meeting new friends and everything. But I have one that totally despises it pretty much. And, of course, she's my complainer because she is a kind of like a homebody, likes to stay at home, being in one place. And we did camping when we traveled to save money, so we'd take the tent and sleeping bags, and we'd go camping as we was heading to Colorado and different places that we went. And that was not her forte. she would rather stay in a hotel where she could have her showers every day and a nice flushable toilet and a nice cushy bed and no bugs on the ground, no tents leaking from the ceiling, no flooding of the water, flooding the tents out. Yeah, we could go on and on about the adventures of tent camping, and she was not into that at all. And we all took it in stride. All of the other three kids, they thought it was an adventure to be had, and just a memory to build. But the oldest one, nope, not her. That was pure torture for her. KG5, that's why I say back to you.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I appreciate vacations and hotels and all that sort of thing, but I like tent camping. I like going out and doing it. So, actually, for years, my family and I, we've always done at least one tent camping adventure every year. I try to make sure we do that. Go to a state campground and do something and tent camp and all that kind of stuff, and just to appreciate nature and what we have and all that sort of thing. Now we have a camper that fell into our lap about a year or so ago, year and a half ago. Kind of one of those things that my wife and I had talked about, and I was always kind of like, well, do I buy a camper? Because then we'll use it. We only camp once or twice a year. And at one point I was on the fence of buying a camper or just buying a boat and then throwing all of our camping gear in the boat. That way we can do boating and camping. But now we have a camper, so that's out the window. So that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, I can appreciate someone's desire to not camp, but I think there's a value in actually going out and doing something and camping and getting out of the house and being in fresh air for the weekend. That's valuable to me anyway. So I like camping for a vacation, not necessarily camping as a vacation because I have to. Maybe I'm fortunate that way. Anyway, back to you, KJQKO.
Oh yes, definitely. We pretty much all enjoyed tent camping a lot for a number of reasons. But I don't know. It's kind of strange because I went ahead and Mom and Dad would always go out and take us fishing, and we wouldn't really camp, but you could say it was camping in their own way because they would go up and get a cabin and everything, and we would stay in a rented cabin and go fishing and stuff like that. And Dad was definitely an outside person. He liked doing that, but there's other things that, and he liked to fish, and Mom hated fish, but she didn't mind going with Dad fishing. She just didn't like fish. So there was some contradictions there a bit, but it was fun being raised up that way. But there was always a part of me that always wondered where some of my other likes and dislikes really were coming from, as far as where they stem from. And but being the fact I was adopted, and I'm always curious about my birth family and what does genetics play, if any, in a part of how a person feels. And now, since I found my birth family, and that, I know, I would say genetics plays a big part in how a kid is, how they feel and how they act and everything, and their interests, because I have so many interests that are totally different from my mom and dad that it's crazy, and I never knew where it really came from until I found my birth family, and now I really know that those instincts was more or less inbred in me in that respect. So back to you, KG5SYC.
KKO. Yeah, it's actually funny how behavior is passed on by generations, and sometimes I see it with my own kid, where I'll see things that he's interested in or things he likes to do, and behavior that I do or my wife does, but also I'll see behavior that extended family does. So like my wife's father, like I'll see behavior from him that I would expect my father-in-law to do. And so, yeah, I totally get that as far as how genetics fall into a predisposition to be interested in certain things versus other things. Yeah, I get it. So, I don't know what else to add to that, but yeah, I recognize that same problem. Not adopted myself. My dad was stepdad. My real dad was never around. My stepdad has been around for a long time, but he was also adopted. So he married my mom, but also he and his sister were both adopted because their parents couldn't have kids themselves. And so kind of I see that circle of behavior and life and all that sort of thing come out. But you know, it's really a big part of it is just being with your kids, being in their lives. And appreciating that they might not have the same interests. My son does not always have the same interests that I do, but we still enjoy each other's company and have fun times and be family. So back to you, Sandy.
This is KG5SYC. Yes, I agree. A lot of it's really funny because I can sit there and pull things out and say, yes, I like this and this and this because I had the opportunity to have this in my life growing up, and then I like, well, but where does this feeling, come from? Because it sure doesn't come from my adopted parents, and it's like until you really know what traits that you've really pulled off from your birth family to that of what is being displayed to you as an adopted family, but in both respects, you kind of pull a little bit of both off of it, because I have so much gratitude in that for my adopted parents that and my family that I have, my grandparents. I love spending time on the farm with my dad's side of the family, and then on my mom's side of the family, Grandpa was a railroad person, and he worked on the railroad, and I would go spend summers with them up in the section houses that they lived in, and the one up in Castle Rock, Colorado, was probably the most memorable one for a lot of different reasons of the little porch that they had out there, the screen porch, and that I got to play in, and I got to have tea parties with my grandmother and everything, and it was a lot of memories. But then on the other hand, there was a big flood that came, and of course the section house was up on a hill, but Grandpa had to go out, and we just didn't know because we watched the bridge collapse and take down several cars, and all we could do was sit and pray that he wasn't one of those that was, in one of those work cars that were going across and watching all the trailers crawl into the river and everything. So as a kid, had a lot of impressionable moments staying with them too. So, yeah, it builds a person's character, I guess. KG5SYC, back to you.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it builds a lot of character, a lot of experiences. Kind of makes you kind of I don't know. The stuff that's genetic and the stuff that's experienced and how they interact makes us all individual. Like that's the deal. Like, we're all different people because of who we are genetically, who we are from our life experiences, and how we all come together and share those experiences. I think to me that really comes across a lot in life. Is there's a political divide that you could reference and things like that, but I don't want to care about that kind of stuff. Just in general, society as people, that we all experience different things. We all see things different ways. We all have different life experiences, and how we can take those experiences and apply them together to make each other's lives better. That's the way I look at it, and I think that's kind of how it works out. I don't know. We have these conversations, like you have had experiences that I have not, and having the conversation shares those, and that makes an important part for all of us. I don't know. That's the way I look at things, but also it's 12:30 at night for me, so I'm getting tired and maybe a little chatty and thinky. Back to you, Sandy. KO.
Yeah, definitely life experiences has a big key role there in a lot of the different aspects. Probably there's so many things that could put in a good impression and a bad impression on any of us, as far as even kids to that of adults. And when kids are raised one way, and military kids really have to learn to be flexible, because they're moved every so many years, and they have to leave their friends, and they have to learn how to keep in touch with their friends, either by letters or by anymore Facebook or phone calls, or whatever. But I know that my kids still got friends that they met in school, and from different areas that they lived, and they keep in touch with them. So it's kind of fun to hear them sit there and say that they've kept in touch with so and so, and they got a family, and some of the kids were almost like adopted kids to me. Some of them came and lived with us for a while, and we took care of one of our youngest son's friends for not quite a year, but it was off and on, because his dad was deployed, and he was a single dad. So we took him in and sit there and had a lot of fun with him. And then our oldest son, his best friend his parents got moved to Florida, and he wanted to finish high school, so he came and lived with us his senior year, and finished high school with us. And so those two boys are just like my take-in adopted take-in kids. And we have another one that's also very close to us, and he still refers to us as Mom and Dad. So there you go. This is KG5SYC, and I guess we'll do another roundabout, and then we'll call it quits.
KKO. Yeah, I was in a similar boat of saying it's time for bed. So we'll do the last round. Yeah, I get that. I actually have a friend that we've been friends since junior high school, So we've known each other for a lot of years, and we actually both now live about a mile apart, which is kind of nice. But yeah, his family is kind of my family. And they're not my immediate family, but I view them as family because I know all of them. And my son has similar experiences where he's got friends he's made online. One of his good friends that he plays with on the internet, he lives about 2.5 hours away. They met on a camping trip, and they've stayed friends ever since. And so they get online, not a lot, but whenever their schedules allow, and they're online together, and they play games. And so my son has friends at school, but a lot of his friends that he has, they're not necessarily at the same school that he goes to. They're friends that go to that live in other towns and go to other schools. That's just the way he is now. So I think it's awesome. Actually, really, the internet and how actually COVID worked out as far as my son with developing friendships has gone. It's really worked out surprisingly well. So with the online stuff, but I can appreciate that. So. Anyway, back to you, Sandy, and after you are done, I will be clear, and I will say 73 after your final.
Yeah, I think COVID had a big part in a lot of different aspects. Some kids did well learning at home and probably had a better learning capability at home for those kids that was always being bullied and that, but it also made it harder on the parents. But then the parents were also at home and trying to get the kids to do schoolwork and trying to do their own work kind of caused a little bit of havoc there in some cases, I've heard. Yeah. In some ways, COVID was good for one thing, but in a lot of ways it was bad because kids did fall behind. But nonetheless, I think sometimes kids really, when they got back with their friends, they really valued the friendships and how their friends were to them and what was really important and everything. So. With that, you have a good night. Nice talking to you. And so I guess we'll go ahead and call it a night for both of us. This is KG5SYC, and we'll be clear 7-3.
Another artist murder to the Obamas. What is it with these people? You know, people say that the Obamas are running the Biden campaign, that they can tell that Biden is really a puppet of the Obamas. But the Obamas have such a high body count around them. I'm pretty sure the Clintons are puppeting the Obamas, who are puppeting Biden. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. We're going to get into this article at the New York Post. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. It's up to all of you to help multiply this channel. So thanks for helping. Thanks for doing your part. Let's go. Article headline: Murder suspect claims Brent Sycama's ex offered him $200,000 to kill the New York City art dealer. It's the art dealer that is one of the art buddies of the Obamas. This is the guy. This is another artist murder to the Obamas. What is it with these people? You know, people say that the Obamas are running the Biden campaign, that they can tell that
W8WKY repeater PL1 14.8 W8WKY